You're not even American. Why am I bothering you? Yeah, right. But no one knows
I would vote for Obama.
You would. You like him.
I don't like anybody. I don't like any of them. But
are you an angry man?
No, no. I said I don't like politicians.
Do you like people? Are you a people person? Do you like to hang out?
Yeah, I love people.
Normal go to the mall
and shoot people.
Go over to Orange Julius.
No, this is what I like to do.
Are you a recluse?
Yes.
You are.
I would say that.
Would you say
almost agoraphobic?
Really? Do you spend most of your day in the house?
Yeah.
Do you still have a tremendous gambling problem?
No.
You do not. What happened? What changed?
Well,
I stopped hanging around.
No, as my son got older, I realized that really the worst part of gambling is not the money you lose, but the time.
Right. So you're saying you wanted to spend more time with your son?
Yeah, because when I'm with my son, the time is so wonderful.
Is it wonderful?
It's beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, you're able to give to your son?
Am I able to?
What do you do with your son?
I play with him.
You do? How old is he now?
How old is this young man?
He's 15 years old.
15 years
old. You're
old.
still playing with him.
Right.
You know, it's a funny thing.
Yeah.
When he was a very young boy, you know, when he was like 3, 4, or something like that, I would play games with him. You know, like we'd play basketball or something.
Sure.
And I'd let him win.
Right.
You know, and now he can beat me at everything. And so he's like, "Hey, man, I always beat you at everything." I said, "No, fuck, I used to let you win." You go, "Fuck," he doesn't believe it.
He always beat you.
Yeah, so he just thinks I'm some retard that can't beat a fucking infant.
He's tall. He's a tall kid. He's playing basketball.
He's playing b-ball, baby.
You're not
It'd be good to have him out there with Artie shoot and see how he does.
You're not playing poker at all? You're not playing, because you love to play high-stakes poker?
You play the friendly games, right?
Come on.
I try not to.
Really?
I still play a little poker, I have to admit, but...
Did you go to therapy for this? I mean, was there some sort of...
No, what do you think I'm you? I don't do that shit.
You don't need to do any of that. You won't talk to anyone, right? You're above that.
I don't do that.
You're too good for that shit, right, man? Right?
Why do you keep putting the phrase in that way?
What do you mean? What do you say? What?
I said I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
To I'll tell you what, this is what happened with me with the psychiatrist once. I think this is why I don't do it anymore.
You did go to a psychiatrist.
When I was a young man, when I
Yes.
was like 17 or trouble kid, and they sent me to a psychiatrist.
Right.
And I talked to the guy, and I talked to him twice, right?
Right.
Next week, he fucking commits suicide.
Is that true?
So it's in the paper that I'm reading about. The guy's the worst fucking life ever. Like coke and again, you know. I mean, I shouldn't say the worst, but you know, just the worst fucking life. And I felt so bad because here I am yammering to him on his last week of life about, my God, my mother. You know, so,
you were labeled as a troubled child? Is that true?
I was a bit troubled.
What behaviors led to them labeling you? What were you doing? What behaviors led to them labeling you a troubled child? I mean, something must have happened to commit you to a psychiatrist.
Well,
albeit a bad one, but nevertheless.
It was all happening in Canada, you know.
Canada.
You, you can't talk about it because it happened in Canada?
No, I'm saying...
You know what happens in Canada stays in Canada. But seriously, what led to
you want to hear a joke from my act?
Yes. I do.
He must have done something really bad.
No, it's about that whatever happened in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Go ahead, yeah, I want to hear
that fucking whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas?
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that.
So actually, it doesn't really stay. Like you can't. It's not like you can kill a person and then leave Vegas and everything's cool. You know what I mean? So what I did was I looked at that phrase. What it actually means is basically you can go to Vegas, fuck a prostitute, and then she will not tell your wife.
Right. That's exactly
what they're saying.
You're saying
not like those gossipy small town whores.
You're saying
back to where you come from. I'm saying back at home, they're blabbermouths.
You're saying, in other words,
they're sitting in the beauty parlor going, "Oh, you're married to Hank Johnson? I fucking shit on his face last night.
In other words,
it's a small world.
There are certain people who literally think they could go to Vegas and do anything they want and it will stay in Vegas. And they're completely wrong.
Of course.
And they should be more literal in the translation of what happens in Vegas.
Yes, they should say,
Because some people are dumb. They don't get it.
They don't know.
No. You're saying the slogan should be, if you fuck a whore in Vegas, your wife won't find out. That's it.
Right. They're very discreet.
Yeah, I like that act. That's what you're going to be doing at Caroline's? I would go see that.
That's a joke.
I like that joke.
But why were you labeled a troubled child?
Yeah. What happened that specifically sent you to the psychiatrist?
Oh, no, everybody goes, you go.
No, when I was 17, they didn't send me to a psychiatrist. My father looked at me, raised his fist, and said, "Here's your psychiatrist." He was a good dad. You must have acted out in some way. Did you get arrested?
You've gone to psychiatrist.
Oh, I'm in there 4 days a week now.
Well, what the fuck are you asking me? Why?
I'm asking you at 17, what led them to put you in you said you were a troubled child.
How old are you?
Right now, 54.
And you're going to a psychiatrist 4 days a week?
3 days now.
3 days a week?
Yeah.
I'm 17. I go one fucking time. I'm the guy that's fucked up?
All right, listen.
You got to give your head a shake.
Listen, I was shocked.
Hey, what do you think of that, man? I was thinking of using that as my...
Tagline?
Tagline, yeah. For a comedy?
I like it.
Hey, give your head a shake.
Like the guy who says hamburger at the end?
You know that?
There's a guy out there.
Funniest motherfucker ever.
No.
There's a black guy. His entire act at the end, he goes hamburger.
And just like that.
Yeah,
that's his line.
But it's funny.
It is funny, actually.
So what is now your new line?
No matter what he says.
And what's your
so you go, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Hamburger.
And at first you hate it, but like 5 minutes in, you're laughing your ass off.
You like it.
Where's the big cowboy hat?
Yeah, hamburger.
He's got a lot of gimmicks going on at once.
You don't miss the movies. You don't miss Saturday Night Live. You do miss
I miss Saturday Night Live, yeah.
You do?
Yeah. I love the Saturday Night Live.
Chevy Chase was in here recently. He didn't say it on my show, but I read it somewhere. He said the only guy who ever did the news right since I left was Norm MacDonald. Did you know
really?
that? Did you know he said that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Oh, you did hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
I heard you have that framed on your wall. Is that true?
No,
it is not true. Okay. You don't give a fuck what anyone says.
Chevy Chase didn't remember me.
No, are you kidding?
I swear to God.
We shot pool and shit.
I know. Well, I mean, listen, he remembered you. He didn't remember
Chevy
me.
remembers you. He doesn't remember working with Artie, no.
He got up and he said, "Nice to meet you."
Artie said, we worked together. He goes, really? When?
Yeah, what film?
What film was that? The midget film?
I said, "Dirty Work."
You know what happened with Chevy when he was on? Because he was having trouble with you, because you would phone him and wake him up and all that shit.
We were not friends back then.
Yeah.
Right.
So I told him, I said, Chevy, fucking phone Howard, and just, if you like him, he'll like you, it's over.
That's it. And now we're friends. We're the best of friends now. That's how it works.
That's good.
So anyway, I was shocked.
Because remember he said he was at a Yankees game, and a guy came up and called his daughter a cunt.
That's right.
Yeah, actually, he spoke about you quite a bit there.
Right, I'm sure. Listen to me, Norm.
You don't age, man. You look good.
I look good? Thank you. And you look good.
Thanks, pal.
Yeah, you look real good.
Man.
You put on a little weight, but it looks good on you. You look
I'm
working
big.
out?
No, it's just fat.
You're fat now?
Well, it's like, but it's proportion. No, I got abs and shit.
Listen, I always talk about Norm being a good-looking guy. He always got he's quietly going back. He scored some big ones. Who is it I heard you had? Can I mention someone I heard that you had sex with?
I don't know.
I'll tell you the name. You can confirm, deny, or not even comment. Oh, somebody said you once had sex with the porn star, Savannah Sampson. Ooh. Is that true or false?
I never even heard of her.
Never heard of her, so you never had her.
I never heard of her, so...
I would like to have sex with her.
No, I've never had sex with a porn star.
She's my favorite porn star.
Yeah, but when you worry about...
You would never.
This is what I would worry about.
Go ahead.
Because I remember when Pamela Anderson was on Saturday Night Live, hey, man, you got to go for that and stuff. I wouldn't want to, after... Tommy Lee and who's the other dude?
That's right. Kid Rock.
Kid
Tommy
Rock.
Lee. Yeah, right.
I don't want to pull out my measly cock, What the fuck am I? What, am I crazy? I'm not stupid.
But you also worry about diseases and things like that, right? I mean, you're pretty careful. You wear rubber when you're with the women, or do you go wild and just say, fuck it, I'm gonna have sex without a rubber? What do you do?
When I'm making love to
do you ever
a
yell
lady?
out hamburger?
After he comes, he says hamburger.
Hamburger. But seriously, how is your sex life, by the way? Because you're single now a long time. We don't see you in the tabloids. We don't see you with any broads, any women, nothing. Are you into a commitment? Are you into any kind of committed relationship?
No.
Nothing. Those days are over.
Mostly I just whack off.
You whack off mostly?
Almost only, yeah.
You don't go out on dates?
No, I much prefer whacking up.
See, I always thought you'd be the kind of guy because you like to be home. You're a recluse.
He'd get a wife or something.
Not a wife, maybe a tight girlfriend. Someone.
The whacking up's better.
Girlfriend, someone.
The whacking up's better.
Yeah, you really feel that way.
Yeah, because my imagination's better than any fucking reality.
Are you being serious with me?
I'm being dead serious.
When's the last time you had a girlfriend?
I don't think I've ever had a girlfriend. I have a wife. I guess she was my girlfriend before I married.
Right, and after the wife,
that was it?
That was it. You realized I'm a different guy than I thought I was. I'm really a loner.
Yeah.
You're a loner.
Yeah.
Do you get lonely?
No.
I was shocked that you went on Adam's show, Adam Carolla, and you said, Howard, more or less, it seemed like you kind of said that I'm responsible for Artie's heroin abuse.
He almost said you're killing Artie.
Yeah, and you said that.
What did you say again? Wait, stop.
I thought you were on Adam's show. I could play the tape, but I don't need to unless you want to refresh your memory. They played me the tape. You kind of said Howard is the cause, and that I even
on Adam
Carolla's show. You said I
yes, I was talking about Artie. I brought up Artie.
Yeah, you brought up Artie.
I didn't. He did.
He did.
Out of the blue.
But I somehow got slammed, and you said I was shocked to hear this. That you felt that I was somehow enabling, and you even said that I killed Hank the Angry Dwarf, where I was said to Doug Goodstein, why don't you come in and talk about how many times we had him committed?
You know what? You're right. You're right. I did say that.
Yeah.
And I apologize for that, because that's not true. That's a terrible thing I said.
I felt horrible that you would say that about me.
No, I do remember saying
Hank. Were you joking or what?
No, I wasn't joking. But
you believed it at the time.
No, the Hank the Angry Dwarf thing, I don't believe. I don't know. I don't know why I said that. I mean, that was wrong of me, because first of all, I didn't know shit.
Right.
But what I was talking about, anyways.
Right.
But no, the Artie thing.
Explain it to me, because if there's something I could be doing, I want to know what I can do. Maybe you got information.
I'm not Dr. Drew. I don't know. But
you seem to know that day.
Yeah, you were very full of yourself.
Well, sometimes you're on the fucking radio and you say stuff.
You guys know I'm sitting here.
No, but I take this. Artie, pretend you're not here for a minute. Eat something.
All right.
I love
It's funny
Artie.
you think it's your problem, not Artie's problem.
Well, this is what you said.
No.
Because I really want an explanation of this. It was very hurtful, and it even got me thinking. I said, Norm's a bright guy. I like you. And I said, gee, if Norm thinks that of me, I have to really sit down and examine myself. And I even went to my psychiatrist. I talked about it. I said, gee, Norm said these horrible things about me.
Did you talk to your psychiatrist?
I did.
Wait a minute. You said Norm?
Norm. And he goes, who the fuck is Norm? That guy, I haven't seen him since Dirty Work.
Norm? Who's he?
I took 3 sessions up on Norm. What do you mean about Artie? All right, you apologize about Hank. I'm really, Hank, we tried so desperately to get this guy in hospitals.
Don't drink.
No, I believe you.
We really were.
I honestly.
Do you remember that appearance?
But do you remember?
That on
do you remember that?
Yeah,
so I felt bad after I heard that, because I do love Artie, and I would do anything to see Artie stop the negative behavior. I've talked to Artie privately about it. I mean, I don't want to be some guy who jams it down his throat and all that kind of stuff, but you seem to feel that I'm enabling or encouraging the behavior, and I'm not.
I don't remember hearing. I said the Stern Show.
Yes. You feel it's Robin who's doing most of it.
No, but I'm saying that the show is a creation.
Yes.
That's very real. That's very. It's at its most interesting when the guest is at his most honest.
Yes, that's true.
Artie is probably as honest as you're going to find.
Yes, he's terrific.
And as provocative as you're going to find.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So then there at 4, that makes the show hugely entertaining.
That is true.
And isn't that what you're going for?
Well, I'm always into honesty, but I mean...
But how is that enabling him or encouraging him to do destructive things?
Well, I don't know. For instance, let me ask you this.
I don't think you know either.
Let me ask you
I don't think anyone knows.
No.
I just,
let me ask you this.
I put it out there, and
but everyone blames me.
No, I'm not blaming, but
No.
I'm saying when Artie threw the thing at Teddy and shit, right?
Right.
Then you didn't play it again for the rest of the day.
That's right. I didn't.
Why didn't you play it?
I didn't play it because Artie was so distraught and the emotions were so real that I felt that Artie was in a state that I didn't even know. We hadn't even talked afterwards. He left. And I felt that by replaying it, Artie could... you have to put it in perspective. I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know if Artie was going to go put a bullet in his own head because he was so upset that he did that. And I felt by replaying it...
Teddy has apologized.
Then when you put it on demand and promo the hell out of it...
Because I spoke to Artie and we talked over the weekend, and Artie was going to leave the show. And some private things happened between myself and Artie, and which we have never gone into on the air. It's off the air private stuff. And I felt, in all seriousness, and Artie felt, we made the decision together that we could go on. Artie wanted the audience to see that, but Artie has changed his behavior a lot and has really thought that whole experience through. So in all seriousness, hamburger. In all seriousness, I...
Honestly, Teddy has apologized for forcing me to do that.
Yeah. we determined, Artie and I determined it was Teddy's fault somehow.
So it was okay to scream.
Yeah.
No, so you're in a conflicted place where you...
I love Artie.
Yes.
And I know,
believe me, I listen to the show, and I know that you guys love each other.
Yes,
I can see it. So.
I don't know if he loves me. He told me I'm not his bro, but I love him.
I apologize like Norm apologized for him.
So what are we really saying now?
Well, listen, Chris, because every guest has to comment on this.
I think that Norm has disavowed everything he said on Adam Carolla.
Yeah.
No, I disavowed the thing about Hank the Angry Dwarf.
But you backtracked and you now say, no, I don't think you're at fault.
What about Adam Carolla?
I never
killed
said
Artie?
that.
I think he was saying that.
Exactly what I'm saying.
It's hard to, like, I put all that out there, and now it's such part of the fabric of the show. It's hard for me to get off that roller coaster. Like, you're not asking me to do it.
Interesting.
You're not asking me to do it.
No.
But I feel like it becomes entertaining, and I feel like it's necessary, not from any orders, but just that, it feeds itself.
Listen, I hired Artie on our show. You're the reason Artie's here.
You're the reason we know this stuff about Artie.
And when Artie was hired on the show, Artie wasn't doing any of this shit. I hired him because he's a funny guy.
He's hilarious.
He's hilarious. He can talk about things.
And introduction to Artie, Norm pushed him forward because he didn't want to talk about Al McPherson and said, does cocaine.
Right, yeah.
I didn't say he did cocaine.
Yeah.
I didn't say he did cocaine at the time. This was a thing in the past.
But if
Artie had been backstage on coke, I wouldn't have brought him out and go, hey, look, Artie's on coke.
It had happened 2 weeks before.
So in other words, after this 10 minutes have gone by of this discussion about Artie, no one knows anything, right? We don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. No one has anything.
Well, I guess no one really knows what to do.
No.
I mean, but I don't know. I said things probably emotionally in that.
Well, you
I was
worried
very emotional at this fucking roast that I had to do.
Oh, yeah.
Because Artie... I thought he was dead. I didn't fucking know. I thought they were telling us. I thought they wanted to do their roast so bad that they weren't going to tell us a guy was dead. That's what I thought. It's
just believable.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The show does have to go on, Norm. You know that.
That's not what I've heard.
Yeah.
I felt bad.
I've heard the show doesn't necessarily have to go on.
That's in Canada. That's why show business in Canada is going nowhere. The show doesn't go on over there. Everything upsets them.
So I think me and Saget were talking a lot, and we got very depressed that night after the roast. I see. Okay. And we talked about Artie a lot, and and then I never expected Adam to bring that up. I should have phoned you guys. I should have phoned Artie. You shouldn't fucking say things about...
No, I just was concerned that you thought that of me. Norm MacDonald has agreed to go to Caroline's on Broadway in Manhattan tonight through Saturday. Yeah. This is you're upset about the Carolines?
Huh?
You like going to Caroline's, or you're upset about it? You don't even really want to go to Caroline's, do you? You're not that thrilled.
No, what are you fucking talking about?
Is it good money?
This is what happened.
No, go ahead.
I took the red eye last night.
Yes.
I just got in, right?
Just now.
Just now, yeah.
Right.
But I took a sleeping pill so I could sleep on the
plane.
What the fuck is she doing, a Sudoku or something?
She prepares the news.
She just does that?
Yeah.
I'm listening to you. You were on the plane. You were asleep on the plane.
No, I wasn't asleep. I took a sleeping pill and did not go to sleep.
Oh.
Did not fall asleep.
So you messed up now.
Pardon me?
You're messed up now?
What are you talking about?
Oh, you messed up from the pill? The pill that you took, did that mess you up?
You're tired.
I'm just tired.
You're tired.
I didn't sleep, and I took a sleeping pill.
Okay.
So you don't. So see, I would take another 8 sleeping pills. But
what are you going to do?
And I hit the stage at Caroline's in about 14 hours after I do these other 10 shows on your network.
Artie,
anyone watch these things?
What shows are you going to be doing?
He's doing shows that I told him yell out the window. There'll be more listeners.
Let me hear what you're doing.
Maxim Radio with Stretch.
Oh, Stretch.
Does he have another show?
I don't know. Yes.
Comedy by Request.
Oh.
Getting Late. I don't know. But all I know is it ends at 5.
Wow.
Oh, you're going to be here all day.
No,
Brewer Unleashed.
Brewer
Unleashed.
Oh, Brewer. You know
That's
Brewer, Jim Brewer.
But he's not here.
Oh, he's not? He doesn't do the show from here?
I think he's doing it. I think he didn't come in. He's doing it from his house.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. He didn't even come in to see you, Brewer.
Yeah. I thought I got to do it from my house.
I thought Mad Dog Unleashed was...
Oh, Unleashed you do. Mad Dog Unleashed.
No, but Brewer Unleashed. You just
Brewer.
reminded me. Brewer has the same name
Brewer,
as
you mean Mad Dog took Brewer's name, Unleashed?
It's Unleashed.
It's Brewer Unleashed. That's
How can we have that? How can we have...
Everything's Unleashed on Sirius.
Yeah, no.
They all stole it from that Byron Allen.
He was Unleashed.
He had comics Unleashed.
You're right. I remember he was Unleashed, too. All these guys are Unleashed.
I went on Byron Allen's Comics Unleashed.
Yes. How was that experience?
Well, first of all, you couldn't be more leashed. But he would,
When was he ever unleashed?
he would do the craziest fucking segues ever. Like, you know, he just asked you for some bits from your fucking act, right?
Right.
So then he talked to one guy. I've had to follow fucking Schimmel, right? So he's not a good guy to open with. So Byron Allen's like, so, Robert, I understand you have cancer. You know, that's his fucking opening. So Schimmel's like, yeah, I have cancer and I'm fucking the girl that...
Right.
boyfriend, and then he turns to me and goes, and Norm, you got a dog.
Sounds like you guys were unleashed that night. You really were laying it all
But
out.
the funniest thing I heard him say is, he said, because, you know, he just gets the jokes beforehand and then tries to think of a question. So he had John Lovitz on, and he said, now, John, I understand you're getting older.
That didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
I got to have a tape
I swear
of
to
that.
God, that happened.
John, I understand you're getting older. Had a joke on aging. Wow.
That's like I told Carmen Electra was on that show later. This is my favorite dumb chick moment of all time. Dumb hot chick. And the girl said to her, it was one of those, that black chick who hosted that show for a while.
Aisha Tyler?
Yeah, that was her. So she says, Carmen, what's the one thing you can't live without? And she said, she thought for like 30 seconds, and she said, food.
Well, she answered it properly.
So you're a human.
True.
So you're a human
It's got to be
being.
either oxygen or food, right? What else is there? Let's take a couple of phone calls for the great Norm MacDonald. We haven't seen him in years.
I know, it's so nice. You know, last time I came up here was with Artie when we were looking around the studios. You were showing me the new studios.
Right, yeah. You're talking about a couple of years already.
Yeah.
You're busy. Listen, what can I say? What do you think of these comedians? Like Dave Chappelle stays on stage sometimes 8, 9, 10 hours.
Yeah, I know. They have Dane Cook in L.A. They have this contest now.
Yeah.
Who can stay on stage the longest?
Isn't that ridiculous? I mean, isn't that...
Well, it's kind of... The audience is really the people that should get the prize.
Exactly.
I know. I mean, that you can get even the best comedian. You would get fatigued after a while hearing that much
Anybody
comedy.
can. I mean, if you can kill for it, should be, you know. If you go 5 minutes without a laugh, you lose or something. But otherwise, this is just talking to a mic.
Do you ever get up on stage and think about the absurdity of it all? Do you ever sit there and you're in the middle of your act and you go, like, what is my job? I'm standing here in front of a bunch of people and they're waiting for me to make them laugh. Isn't that the craziest profession in the world when you think about it? I mean, isn't that does it ever drive you insane? Do you ever wish you did something else?
Well, I did manual labor before, and I liked that a lot.
I was a dishwasher. I loved it.
Yeah.
But the pay was shitty.
The pay's shit, but somehow I always had money. I don't know why.
You yearn for those
I don't
days.
got no money now.
All right, Ralph, you're first up in Jersey. Go ahead.
Ralph.
Norm.
How you doing, baby?
Good, man. Hey, first of all, Norm's a great stand-up. I highly recommend his show. I've gone a couple of times. It's really good.
All right.
And I'm not going to repeat anything that Norm and we've talked off the air about Artie, and I don't think you're being 100% honest there, Norm. I think you know that There's some things you said. I don't think that you're saying that Howard's responsible for Artie's behavior, but the show just encourages it.
Yeah,
well, that's what he just said.
And there's no, and then there's no consequences, and that's where I think so. Like Artie falls asleep. What job could you fall asleep at?
Well, Ralph brings up a good point, because every guest has to talk about this now, I think.
Yeah,
Chris Rock said that, Howard should fire me. That's what he said. Because if I didn't have money, I wouldn't be able to.
Well, if you weren't so funny, you would be fired. Well, I mean, that's the bottom
Do you
line.
recommend that I fire Artie?
But
Get away with it because you're so funny.
But if Chris Rock said that, he's incorrect.
That's not the right move.
If
fire your friend.
there is a job that you can fall asleep at.
Sure.
Because Artie falls asleep.
That's right.
Guy's sitting right there.
Let's go to Debbie. Debbie needs to speak to you, Norm. Go ahead.
Hey, Norm.
Hi, Debbie.
I was wondering what you think about Artie always complaining about movie dirty work, because I think it's hilarious. And in his DVD, he gives people money back for if they paid for it.
Yeah, no, that's funny. No, it's funny because Dirty Work is a movie that's just how can I put it? It's just bad.
It's hilarious.
I know it is a funny movie. I can't apologize for it.
Chevy Chase was in it, and he said that unfortunately he was disappointed because it was really like an R-rated script, and then the studios got a hold of it and cut out a lot of funny stuff.
The studios.
Why does Artie apologize for it?
Yeah, well,
No, I mean, I love the movie too, but it's a movie that's fun to make. Listen, the kid at my shows, they have 50 DVDs, and they asked me to sign it on stage, so I thought of a joke for it.
did the movie make any money?
No,
It did not make any money.
But the funny thing was, Chevy was right, because I remember the fucking there was that guy Greg. Remember?
Yeah.
There's a guy from
MGM
MGM, So the movie was pretty fucking dirty, I thought, and they kept going, "Nah, this is a PG movie," And we're like, "Really? Like it seems like an R movie. We're saying a lot of dirty stuff in here, and we're doing dirty things." And no, man, that's fine. So we didn't do any retakes or anything, like a clean version,
Right.
Then they gave it to the MPAA for notes, and they gave the script back with no notes. Usually they make little notes.
Sure.
They said, "What are you fucking guys crazy?" They didn't even fucking dignify with a single note, because the whole thing was so dirty. Was so obviously an R movie.
Wow.
So then we didn't have any fucking backups. We had to cut scenes. We had to do retarded looping that looked like nothing.
I would like to see the original version. Artie does that joke. He says, "If anyone didn't like Dirty Work, I'll return your money." He's already returned $90 million. The guy's bankrupt.
You know what it is?
That's very flawed.
Yeah, Ralph.
Howard.
Yes.
How could the movie be a failure if you returned $90 million?
That wasn't logical what I just said. Ralph, go ahead.
So I'm at dinner with Norm once, or lunch or something. We're at a big table, like all these people sitting around, and Norm puts his hand on my leg, not rubbing my leg or anything, just puts his hand on my leg. And I don't know, like it was weird, but Norm's a weird guy. I don't know, maybe he was fucked up. I don't know. His hand was just like on my leg.
You didn't knock it away, did you?
And then 5 minutes later, Norm goes, "Hey, Ralph is a fag. I've had my hand on his leg and he hasn't moved."
That's how I test people.
You test them.
I
so
test
you believe
people.
Ralph is gay?
I test people to find out if they're fags, and that's one of my tests. Can you imagine letting a fucking dude grab your leg for 5 minutes?
You mean Ralph didn't say anything?
Not a fucking word.
Ralph, you're gay.
Aren't you the fag for grabbing my leg?
No, he's testing you. Norm, you are a genius. I really mean that. You might be the greatest genius of all time. You were the only one who figured out that Ralph really is gay. Why wouldn't you make Ralph? Why wouldn't you make Norm remove his hand?
Yeah, say, what are you doing?
What?
I don't know. I found it funny. I didn't know.
And if he grabbed your cock, would that have been funny?
I've been giving Ralph a hand job for 20 minutes.
That was later.
Norm, you are a genius.
He laughed.
I love that.
Norm blew me too, but
I like how it becomes the other guy now.
Let's go to thank you, Ralph.
That's why I test if guys are fat.
All right. Have you tested anyone else as a fag, or is that the only?
He tried it the first day of Dirty Work. I fucking punched him in the face.
Yeah, you see, and you knew he wasn't a fag.
No, I knew he was a fag. He overreacted.
Everybody's gay.
I patted him on his shoulder. That's all.
You must think I'm super
fucking clocked
heterosexual.
me.
You never tested me like that.
You ain't no fag.
That's right. Nick, go ahead. You're on.
Howard, I just wanted to say that this is the funniest interview. I'm literally pissing my pants. Norm is
terrific.
Right on point, and he's the funniest son of a bitch who's ever taken a sip of water, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, then you'll want to go see him at Caroline's on Broadway.
Absolutely.
You better get over there.
So what's the plan?
I'm going to scampering right down there.
Norm, he has all these old-timey expressions. I'll be scampering right down there. Why, that some bitch is the funniest thing since a glass of water.
You're a real piece of shit. You're so funny.
That's Norm MacDonald. He's the richest man in town.
Yeah!
Me and Norm used to talk about Norm he used to say, like, after 2 years...
off with a hunting knife there, buddy.
Yeah, well.
After 2 years of the Norm show, he was like, fuck, I got enough. Norm he used to say, like, after 2 years...
off with a hunting knife there, buddy.
Yeah, well.
After 2 years of the Norm show, he was like, fuck, I got enough money, like, fuck being the richest guy in L.A. I got enough money to be the richest guy in, like, Spokane, Washington. And it's just like...
Because you go on the road, and the guy would drive you to the club. You'd be in some little town somewhere,
right.
And then the guy would be driving you past, and then you see this fucking huge palace with 8 cars, and they go, that's Roy Johnson's house, richest man in town. Why, that house costs over $100,000.
Wow. So the plan was, I got so much money from my sitcom.
Yeah, I'll just be the richest guy in this little place. That's Norm MacDonald lives there.
Do you miss?
Why, he fucked my daughter.
Do you miss the days of the sitcom? Do you miss that kind of money, that action? I mean, that was tremendous. I mean, you didn't have to do a whole lot, and you got a lot of money, right?
You had to do. That's a misconception. If you're the star of the show,
there's a lot for you to do.
As a supporting actor on a sitcom is literally stealing money.
You were stealing money.
Yes, but he had a lot.
Do you miss the sitcom?
Already had a good job.
Did you miss the pay? Do you miss the going to the studio? It's exciting, right? You don't miss it.
No, I don't miss it. I miss the people. It sounds like faggot. But I love Artie, I love Laurie Metcalf, and I love Max Wright. So,
right. You don't call Artie that much, do you?
Well, I'd say about once a month.
Once a month you guys speak on the phone?
It's not awkward? We try to talk.
Is it uncomfortable speaking to Artie now?
No, I wouldn't say it's uncomfortable. Sometimes you have to, be careful, what you say. It's like,
really?
He gets touchy, right?
No, I'm saying the same way that Letterman doesn't want to talk to you.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you got 4 hours to fill, so you got to sometimes be careful.
I see. Really?
Even though I have probably nothing of scandal.
I can't imagine what those conversations are. I just can't.
Unbelievable.
Well, look, you've done it all. You know MacDonald. What's the plan for the rest of the day?
That's when you have nothing to say.
You're going to do the show.
Done it all.
You've done
You're
it all.
Norm MacDonald. That says my name. That's when you know the interview's coming to a halt. So what else?
Now, what is the
it
game
says here
plan?
you're Norm MacDonald.
What is the game plan for the rest of the day? You're going to do some shows at Sirius.
Yeah.
After you're done with those shows,
people in those seats.
you're going to take a nap.
I don't think I can take a nap. My hotel room's not ready. They said till 4 or 5.
You couldn't get the room the day before, and so
I should have. Yeah.
That might have worked out
I
better for you.
Well, let me ask you. Artie says on the road he doesn't know what to do with himself. What do you do when you're on the road in some little town?
Yeah, what do you do?
Like, I only like the time that I'm on stage, because other than that, like...
what do you do when you have to kill time? Do you play chess?
Other than being a fucking other than the hour you're on stage, you're basically a fucking drifter.
Yeah, that's true.
So most of the time you're trying to find food, and these fucking towns think they're interesting, and so you go. This is what they find the most interesting. You go, hey, what is there to do in your fucking shit town? So then they go, you got to see the Galleria.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I'm from L.A.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen Galleria.
A guy in Houston.
Last year, a guy shot everyone at the Galleria.
A guy in Houston told me that once. He said, first of all, it's a 400-pound guy. It was May in Houston. Like, the sweat was dripping off me. I had to, the club guy told me, take a cab. Like, I'll pay you for it. There's no car.
Right.
So I get in a cab in Houston. It's like 140 degrees. This guy's got a huge flannel shirt on. Hey. And he says hi. I say hi. He goes, you're a New Yorker, huh? And I'm like, well, I'm from there. And he goes, we got a place in town. It's just like Greenwich Village. And I said, really? And he says, yeah, but there's no fags. And I said, well, what is it? He goes, and he said, it's the Galleria. And I went, it was a mall.
With a hockey rink. It had a hockey rink.
But there were no fags.
Yeah,
he was right.
Yeah.
Listen.
I put my hand on a bunch of guys' fucking legs, and they all said, what's your problem?
So you really have the same problem Artie does, in the sense that you have to kill a lot of time in your career.
Well,
this crazy boredom.
But you never got into heroin or crack or any of this stuff that Artie does to kill time.
I never to kill time.
Yeah.
To kill me.
Is that the point?
Yeah,
just to kill some time.
You know, it's funny.
Well, that's what he's doing. He hates it. He kills time.
Wait a minute. I don't think he's doing it to kill time.
You're not a drug guy, though, are you?
Well, in a way, everything. You know, one time when I had the gambling fucking thing,
right.
I went to a psychiatrist, and he said, "You're doing it to like avoid life."
Right.
So I was like, isn't that why you do every fucking thing there is? You know what I mean? Like, that's why you go to work and get...
In a sense, that is life. Right.
Me and
life is avoiding.
Was gambling your thing? Like, in other words, it took your mind off of all your issues and all that kind of stuff. It was your...
Yeah, it's a
that.
complete escape, but then the thing that you do to escape your problem becomes the fucking problem.
I always worried about you because I always had a feeling you were always losing, too. Like, you weren't very good at gambling, but you would constantly bet on the wrong
Gabe
teams.
Kaplan?
Yeah, Gabe Kaplan.
No.
You know, like
well, you can't win if you gamble.
Poker, not even. You can't win that.
You can win poker if you want to.
Yeah, but you never win.
No, I don't think you. I don't. It's a complicated thing, but I don't think
gamblers
want to win. I remember one time I heard Omar Sharif talking about it, and a couple times in my life I've been dead broke from gambling.
Right.
And he said this thing that I found like I related to, because he said I lose $6 million. He was talking about the most money he lost. I don't know.
And God only knows how he got $6 million.
Yeah.
By the way, dead on impression.
I know, it's good, right?
Excellent, Omar Sharif. Yes.
Look forward to Caroline.
But he was a big gambler, big bridge player.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So he says, one time I lose $6 million. He goes, I go across the street to a coffee shop and I get the coffee. I have $1 left. I get a coffee. He goes, I feel clean.
And
I understand what he means.
What does that mean?
Means when you lose everything, you're alive.
In other words, you don't feel alive unless there's some great tragedy.
No,
or something
it's not
big.
a tragedy to have nothing.
Right.
I mean, don't you feel like sometimes when you're building a house, you're just walling yourself into a mausoleum?
Right.
Well, if you don't have that house,
you're free.
You're free.
You're free.
Now,
of course, you'll freeze
what is the most? Do you ever sit down and figure out how much money you lost?
No.
Do you know what your biggest loss was?
No, I don't give a fuck about money.
You do too. You know what your biggest loss
you know what?
was.
Should we tell the story about my guy I hooked you up with? It's a long time ago. It's a long time ago now.
What's this one?
Fran?
No, shut
Hit the button.
Oh, we can't say who it is.
Just no name.
I hit the button. All right.
So
what happened?
I was a bad influence on Norm, I think, and maybe because when we met each other,
and I'm the enabler.
When you shoot a buddy comedy like it was,
yes,
you go away with someone to a different city for like 2 months. It's like going away to camp. So you're either gonna hate the person or love them. And me and Norm became friends because we shared one vice, gambling. And I used to love gambling. And
I used to love. 2 days ago, he was gambling.
Right, yeah, used to.
The first night I met Norm, the rehearsals, we went to a pool hall in Toronto, and I won $2,000 off him playing 9-ball.
That's right.
And he ended up paying me in Canadian money. It was like a wheelbarrow, like blue pieces of paper with a goose on it.
Yeah, they don't have presidents.
You have no respect for the Canadian.
That's when you bribe somebody in Canada, you're like, maybe this goose will change your mind.
And it really looks like Monopoly money. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do with this?
Right.
Back then when the dollar was good, it was like a wheelbarrow.
So
what happened was, we shot Dirty Work August into the fall, and Norm was still on Saturday Night Live. And I started, in lieu of other things, halfway through the shoot, I started phoning this kid I know who was a runner for a bookie. So I start calling this guy, and I'm making a lot of bets. And see, Norm wasn't gambling at the time. He was really into work. He You know, he was shooting the film and he was going back to SNL. The last few weeks he had to go do SNL.
All right,
and the movie,
he's busy.
Right. But I think because I was always with him talking on the phone, he sort of was like, yeah, you got a guy. And I said, yeah, I got a guy. He goes, can I have his number? Because I want to maybe start putting some bets in. So this bet that ruined
This
bet that ruined me and Norm, because when we went on the road and I opened for Norm, and this is what we did. You talk about killing time. This was a problem. We got introduced to this thing called a lightning bet. Now, what a lightning bet is, say you know what the under-over is in a basketball game, the total amount of points the two teams score. So say it's 180.
Okay.
Right? If you lightning $1,000 on the over, when they hit 180, every fucking point they score after that, you win $1,000.
I like that.
So it's like sick.
Nice. That's free money.
It's sick. Every layup is $2,000. So like if it's at 180 when they go into overtime, every single basket's $2,000. It's insanity. But every point it's under 180, you lose 1,100 because of the vig.
Right.
Okay, so it's craziness.
Right.
It really is like
that's a dangerous bet.
Right. It's a dangerous bet. Right. It's a dangerous bet.
It's a high stakes bet.
But it's the most exciting.
Not for me, because I couldn't lose.
Right. Well, it was.
You're a winner, right?
It was the most exciting type of gambling I've ever been involved. So what happened? So Norm, a couple of weeks in a row, wins like $100,000.
Oh my God!
I mean, because we were.
You're proud of that,
You know
right?
what we were doing?
I was on a hot streak.
He was, and you know what we were doing? We were betting on. It was the '98 NBA Finals, and we were betting on the Bulls and the Utah Jazz.
Right. Lowest.
So so Norm like 3 weeks in a row wins wins $100,000.
Wow.
And
you couldn't stop there, Norm, right? You couldn't say, I got a couple of hundred.
The guy.
I'm done.
Well, here's what happened. He gave it all.
I can buy the biggest house in Albuquerque and be that guy.
Here's what happened. He gave it all back, and then he was even again. Now Norm loses 3 weeks in a row.
Oh, my God.
About the same amount of money. And Norm, being a good man, pays the guy off. Now, a couple of those weeks, I would win like $8,000, and we'd pick up the money from Norm. There'd be a shopping bag of hundreds. Like the kid I was going in with, the runner for the bookies, a kid I go up with, you know, I was like, he's like, I don't want to go into New York by myself. It's a lot of money. So we would go in and he'd get the shopping bag of $100,000 from Norm. Jeez. And we would drive to this like factory in Jersey and he'd peel off my $8,000 that I wanted. Didn't even make a dent in the fucking.
How do you know Norm wants this on the air?
We were well, he knows what I'm going to say.
It.
He knows what This is a long time ago, man. He's a different guy.
Yeah.
So.
No, he's not.
Well, but listen to what happened, and this is why I don't talk to this kid anymore.
Right.
So Norm, being an honorable guy, pays off every week.
Right.
So now here comes the last game of the Utah Jazz versus the Bulls. Norm lightnings $1,000 on the over.
Okay.
On the under. That's right.
No, I went over. You went under. It was the
no. I bet the over. You bet the under because it was you won.
It was the lowest scoring.
Lowest scoring.
And you had
won.
the under.
The over. So it was the lowest scoring game.
Right, but
you had the under. You won.
Had the under. You
no,
won.
He had the over because it was the lowest scoring game.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. I'm trying to. Right. Okay. Exactly. So I bet the under.
Right.
And he bet the over. Okay. 1,000. Now I only bet $200 a point, but Norm bet at that. So I had to deal with this. It was the lowest scoring game in the history of the NBA. The Jazz only scored like 45 points. Like Jordan just shut them down single-handedly. So I lost like $9,000 on the game at 200 points. But Norm won like 110,000.
Wow.
Okay. So now he's even with the guy who wins $110,000. So now Norm comes into New York. We're doing press for Dirty Work, and he's at this hotel, and I said, I'm going to go get the money, and I'll bring it to you. So I call the guy up, and the guy goes, listen, man, I'm sorry. Tell Norm I can't find the guy. And I said, what? He says, tell him I can't find the guy. The bookie just took off on me.
Wow.
So I said, first of all, now listen, you got to, like, I knew Norm for a little while. But I had just gotten the movie with Spade. I said to this guy, I said, listen, you're fucking me up here, man. This is a guy I work with. I said, Norm could easily call Spade and say, this jerk off is ripping me off. He's going to get, he could get me fired from the movie. You're fucking me here. He's a good friend of mine here. He paid you everything. First of all, what bookie
so
wouldn't
you never
want
got
that
paid?
business?
Wow.
I had to go to the hotel. I had lost the $9,000 I lost, I gave to Norm.
That's true.
And I said, because I said, I'm not going to give it to him. So I kept begging the kid, and he kept sticking. Like, obviously, Norm thinks, and I think, he was the bookie.
Yes.
Right.
We both
know,
think that,
yeah.
but yet we're not saying his name.
Right. We're protecting him.
And but you see,
So he can continue.
Norm,
We don't want to
So
hurt him.
in other words, when you so now that I hear this story, it's good you gave up gambling because
Yes, it is.
really it is because you can't teach your son these things.
My son's a good kid.
Right.
My son's a good boy.
He's a good boy.
But also, Artie keeps gambling with people he can't get paid for.
I know.
Well,
Artie was up 70 grand and couldn't get it.
Did you hear
Same
that?
deal.
Yeah, same deal.
Not the same guy.
Different guy. Same story.
I won 78,000 on the NFL playoffs, and the guy gave me 18. But you know, again, it's like,
and you can't go to the police. They're not interested.
Right.
in
There was
that.
nothing
one
to
guy, I
do.
remember with this guy, they go, why don't you break his legs? I'm like, what the fuck? Why don't you kill him? I'm like, yeah, that'd be a good thing.
well, I tried to
Kill a man.
And you'll go to jail.
I go to jail.
You've never killed anyone, have you?
What?
No, you've never killed anyone. All right, listen.
I
Norm-
tried to tell. I said, listen, if Norm was an asshole, he could have said, look, obviously you're in on it with this guy. I never want to talk to you again. But
Right.
he believed
knew,
me.
of course. Who wouldn't believe you?
But what did Bernie Brillstein say to you that time? I was trying to, when you won the money playing craps, what did Bernie say to you?
Bernie, yeah, he just passed away. He was a great guy.
Did you go to the funeral?
Yeah.
A lot of celebrities?
I didn't go.
You didn't go?
You didn't go?
No.
You are a recluse.
I was actually kind of sad.
Well, that's why you go.
Yeah.
I know, but I knew people would be making jokes and stuff like that.
What did he say? He
No,
said,
yeah, I won this money at craps back when I was married, and I didn't know what to do. I never won money before. And I said, hey, Bernie, man, I got all this money. I just won at craps. You know, he goes, first of all, don't tell your fucking wife. That's the first thing. Then, you get a safety deposit box at the Mirage, but only put 10,000 in that one. You had a big long explanation, like it had happened to him like
He knew
50
exactly
times.
what to do.
Isn't it great when you ask someone what to do and they know? It's just amazing. Sam Simon, quickly, yes, because Norm is on a schedule. He has to get
Hi,
over to the gay channel or something. He's going to describe how to find out if someone's gay. Sam, go ahead.
Hey, the funniest thing I think ever happened to Norm, and now that he's revealed that he's a degenerate gambler, is he moved into a new building.
Oh, Christ, yeah.
What?
Howard already likes it. So anyway, so he moved into a new building. In the meantime, there are casinos in L.A. now that are in warehouses and condos, and they have high-stakes poker game and sports betting and dealers and security and bars and food and everything. They're just like regular Vegas casinos and card rooms, except they're just private, and for some reason they're just sprouting up all over the place. So I get invited to one, and Norm has told me the address of his building or the street that it's on, his new building that he just moved into. And I'm looking around for this place, and I say, I think this is Norm's building. So I go inside, I go in, I play poker all night, whatever, and they have girls and bars and everything. And I go home and I look up, and I had called Norm. Norm, go ahead.
No, yeah, it's right next door.
Anyway,
But you live next door to this
I live
place?
next door to a casino.
Now, let me ask you something.
It's the worst luck
When
of all
you live
time.
next door to a casino, so that's terrible for you.
Yeah.
he just found it, forget how bad it would be if you moved into a new building and there's a casino.
Right inside.
This is Norm. It's 25 feet from his front door.
They must have wiped you out,
Next
right?
door neighbor. No, I haven't gotten in yet.
You don't worry
actually,
about money. Like you don't worry that you
No,
could lose it all.
of course I do.
I would hope so. I would think so. Do you have investments and things?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I don't have investments.
You don't have any investments.
No.
It's all in a mattress somewhere. It's on a shopping
I put
bag.
in a bank or whatever.
With the Canadian money.
You trust these banks?
But I went to that casino because the guy called me in, Sam.
Yeah.
And
Levon.
yeah, Levon.
All right. Hey, Sam, I got to go.
Okay,
Thanks. All right, Sam
You know
Simon,
when you get
everyone.
together,
Guys,
he's right.
I was gonna say, when you get together and you tell stories about losing and gambling,
Yeah.
all of Sam's stories about a bad experience in gambling is he won so much he can't carry his chips.
The great Norm MacDonald, and go see him. Norm MacDonald, the richest man in town. Go
Yes,
see him.
in most towns.
In most towns, he's
Man
the
owns a Lincoln.
Lincoln Continental.
Guy's got a Coupe de Ville.
Great seeing you, Norm. Don't stay away so many years next
No,
time.
absolutely
All
not.
right, the great Norm MacDonald. We'll be
Respect.
back right after this.
Norm,
Yes, sir.
lightning bets.
Oh,
You've piqued my interest. I never heard of that before.
You don't want to do that shit.
It's a gambler's heroin.
It is. It is like crack because from the beginning of the game,
right? Your heart rate.
Like if you have the over, you start the game down 180,000.
Norm, thanks for coming down today, man.
Thanks, man. Respect. You should walk backwards like competitively, right? Did you ever think of that?
I thought about it. I mean, I've assessed my talents, and I feel that that's pretty much my only one.
Are you kidding? Take a look at that.
That's true.
Maybe it's time to reassess your talents. You'd have a TV program.
So what's going on, Norm? You've got a new show on Comedy Central?
Oh yeah. The Comedy Channel. Ha! I'm on Ha TV.
You're looking forward to your reunion with Howard today?
Yeah, it'll be really awesome, man. I always love Howard. Miss him. Fun to be here. Fun to see everybody. I brought the great Kevin Farley. Farley, where are you, man?
Hey, man.
How you doing?
Welcome back, man.
Yeah, thanks.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm great. I'm loving it.
Nice.
Back to me.
Nice deflection. All right, man. I'll leave you alone.
All right.
See you in the studio.
You got somebody shooting you. It's the fucking Truman Show.
It's a damn circus around here.
It's awesome, baby.
Norm MacDonald. Here he is, Norm. He's with somebody. I don't even know who. Oh, Kevin Farley he's with. You know Kevin. You've met Kevin before.
Yeah.
Norm always travels in bunches. Hey, Norm. Hi, Kevin.
Hi there.
Hey, Kevin. How you doing, man? Norm, you always have a friend with you. I like that about
Are
you.
we on the air? Are we on
Yeah,
the
we're
radio?
on the air, sure.
Oh, man.
Yeah, take a seat.
You're always on the air.
How you doing,
are
man?
I
love
usually
you,
think
baby.
if Norm comes in with a friend, he has something to hide.
I miss you, yeah.
You know, Norm.
It always works out well when I come in with a friend.
Yeah. It's never a girl. You don't know any girls.
I know, man.
Yeah.
But I'm jazzed. I met that dude from Twitter.
Yeah. Hey, by the way.
Are you going to get verified? Are you verified?
I'm verified.
And you don't know how you got verified on Twitter, do you?
I do not. Do you?
No, I have no idea.
Yeah,
it's a process that when you have a certain amount of fame and they realize it's really you, they don't want you imitated or impersonated because, it means something. But that whole organization is run like a hippie organization.
Listen, man, I was out there, right? So this is how I'm fucking old because I think there's a rich guy in there, so I expect an old white-haired man with bald and shit.
And a guy who looks like he's 10 walks out.
Fuck, man.
Because nowadays with computers, young people are really taking over, man. They are the ones who are really making it, you know?
But didn't they used to be they didn't want to be famous and shit, right?
Right.
Like that guy on the movie?
Yeah,
from
Facebook.
Social network?
He didn't want to be famous.
Yeah.
But this guy wants to be famous, obviously, right?
Well, I think he's out there promoting Twitter. You know, he really believes in the company and he wants to get the word out there, I guess. You know, he didn't strike me. He strikes me as a hippie. Like, he doesn't, like, they don't worry about stuff.
Not hippie.
Yeah, well,
but just sort of casual.
He's casual. He's like, yeah, if we get to verifying you, we'll get to verifying you.
But I was on Twitter, like, it started, like, fucking, like, a long time ago, right?
Yeah, but by the way, can I say something?
What?
You didn't seem to me like a Twitter guy.
No, I didn't, man. I fucking 5 years ago or whatever.
You fought it, right? You were probably
I didn't
like,
know what it meant. I was like, who cares if a guy got a hamburger or some shit, right?
But I think now, I mean, you got on Twitter recently, and rapidly you had a lot of.
3 weeks ago,
how many followers do you now have in 3 weeks?
150,000.
And I find it
Good
fun.
for you. How
I
did you
find
do
it
that?
fun to follow you because you have very witty things to say. Now, do you find yourself like judging yourself, and people are judging what you write? Do people write back to you and go, "Norm, this isn't funny enough"?
I don't. Usually, at the start, I would listen to responses, but then they go, "Fuck off," and you know.
You too, right?
You're shit and everything. So I go, I don't even. These are my fans.
That's what I say. I go, "These are my fans, and they shit all over me. No matter what I do, it's wrong."
Yeah, exactly. And then I don't know how to retweet and reply. I don't know anything.
So
you're
you
doing
have
it-
learned nothing except how to tweet.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're doing it yourself. You haven't hired somebody to tweet
This is what
for
happened.
you.
I hired a girl like fucking 5 years ago because everybody said you gotta have all this Facebook and shit, and so she just did everything, right?
Right.
And then somebody said, "Hey, you're tweeting, right?"
Right.
This was 5 years ago, and I said, "I am." And then I looked at it, and she was just saying shit like that she thought I would say.
I see.
Yeah, so it was fucking horrible. I'm like, no, don't do that no more.
So who convinced you to start tweeting? Because it doesn't seem like you. You seem like such a. In fact, it's weird. for so many years I felt like, gee, what happened to Norm? I never see Norm anywhere. Like you were this mysterious Norm.
I just live in my apartment. I never leave my apartment. But
it's kind of stopped the mystique of Norm in a way, because now I feel like I'm in touch with you. I know you're around, but I like it. I like you on there because I like reading your thoughts.
Well, what happened was I still had my Twitter account because it wasn't dormant.
It stays there.
You guys know that. You guys know all that shit, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So it wasn't dormant; it was still alive.
Right.
And then I was just sitting around with my buddy, and he goes, "Hey, you can fucking just tweet. You can just Twitter or tweet all the time if you want." So I was like, "Oh, that's weird." And then he left, and then. The Academy Awards were on, so I said, "Oh fuck! I'll just watch the Academy Awards and I'll tweet all the time, all the way through the Academy Awards," and it was so fucking fun.
You liked it.
Oh my god!
You got
it was like
hooked,
addicted.
right?
Yeah,
because you have instant access to an audience, and while that's not something you could do with your stand-up act, but you could be on Twitter and say, "Hey, I'm watching this thing. I might as well tweet out my thoughts."
Yeah.
Were
and
you
your thoughts
vicious?
are kind of used. What?
Were you vicious to the people up there? Did you find the Academy Awards boring?
They were the worst fucking Academy Awards ever.
Ever, right?
Yeah.
And did you write that? Were you honest with the people?
A couple of times, I had a couple of ones that were maybe mean. Like I said, I think I said by the time this is starting to drag, by the time the dead guy montage fucking shows up, Kirk Douglas will be in it.
He'll die during the whole show. Were you offended by Kirk Douglas's appearance? He did seem to, look, the man has an affliction. He has a hard time talking.
But it certainly does not affect his comic timing.
Not at all. The guy was a scream. I mean, it was rude. When you have that kind of affliction, like Dick Clark knows to wrap it up quick. He does the countdown and 5, 4. But Kirk Douglas.
We're always late for the dropping of the ball.
Yeah, Kirk Douglas.
Gets it out.
Kirk Douglas was going on and on and on. Were you able to tweet that you did not like that?
I tweeted. I just tweeted whatever I thought, and then afterwards I was like, "Fuck, man! This is just going out there." Like, thank God I don't drink or do drugs. Thankfully, because now I can see those. If you did that,
it would be dangerous.
Yeah, you could talk about Japan or anything. You would know.
Oh yeah, you could be like Gilbert and end your whole career.
Hey, what did Gilbert do? I read on the computer that Gilbert said something back at Affleck or something.
Well, I don't. Gilbert is not the type to apologize for anything he says, but I think it cost him a lot of money. The Affleck gig was easy. Once a year he goes in, acts like a duck, and he makes a ton of dough.
And he doesn't even have to say anything but Affleck.
Hey, you're right. Affleck. So, he didn't know Affleck, I guess, has 75% of their business in Japan. And they got a bit offended by what was going on. So
I did an audition for it.
Did you really?
Did you?
It seems like everyone is being auditioned
now,
for the
what
Affleck
did you do? Did you try to sound like Gilbert, or did you try to change the duck?
They said I've only been on like 5 auditions in my life, and everyone's been a fucking nightmare.
You don't strike me as an auditioning kind of guy.
I'm the worst fucking ever. So I go in, and then the woman goes I just thought I'd have to say Affleck once.
Right, that's easy.
So she goes, listen. I want you to create a story. Like, that's what I want you to do. Like, you just think of the duck, be quizzical and funny, and then sarcastic, and then serious, and then sexy. And she goes, just create a story. Have fun. They all say, fucking have fun with it.
No, this is my work. There's no fun here.
So then, like, 3 seconds in, I'm like, I want to get the fuck out of here. I ain't gonna be the fucking duck. So she left, and then there's just me and a guy with a hat. So I said, listen, man, I'll just say Affleck and get the fuck out of here. Because, I only got so many fucking moments in my life.
Right. You got a life to live.
Yeah, so have you ever been in that situation? You've never have been because you have complete freedom. But it's me, a guy with a hat. He's telling me how to say Affleck. I'm saying Affleck. I'm going, I don't have that many years left.
It dawned on you that this is actual.
This is time.
Like if a doctor told you had 3 weeks to live, you'd say, God, I'm spending too much time here.
Yeah, exactly.
So what did you do? What was your delivery like when you did? I mean, you must have put some energy into it.
Nah.
You didn't? Did you just go, fly?
I went, he's like sexy, which I can't do.
You're sexy to me.
And then he said, fuck, it's all fucking shit.
Yeah, you're like Affleck, and he goes, that's not very passionate. So, when I think about auditioning and when you got the job at Saturday Night Live, did you audition for that? I mean, you must have auditioned on some level.
No, I phoned them and I said, they said some guy liked my stand-up at work there and shit. And then so they said, you got to come to New York, do 2 impressions, 2 characters, and 2 something or other.
Which is really not even your thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not an impression. I mean, you can do an impression.
No, they said, write 2 sketches, do 2 characters, and do 2 impressions. So I said, I don't have any of those.
We're not going to do well here.
Yeah, so I said, I'm not going. I can't do it. So sorry, I can't do that. So then they said, oh, well, maybe you can be a writer. So then I was a writer, and then I just wrote myself on the show.
Oh, is that how it worked out?
But I did a couple of auditions, man. I had this one when I first came to L.A. Because this is the problem, man. People see you do stand-up, and if you're good, right, then you're getting laughs in the club. So then the casting agent hears you getting laughs, thinks you're funny.
Right.
So then the guy goes, he's this casting agent. I don't know if he's gay or not, but...
He's gay. Go ahead.
So he said, listen, man, I was like his big find. He's like, oh, my God. And there was a show, some fucking show on Fox. He goes, we'll take you there. He goes, we'll meet the producers, and it'll be great, you know. So he gives me the script, you know. So I got a big part in this fucking thing, right? So I'm trying to memorize the words and shit. And like,
is that hard?
It's fucking hard.
Right.
All in
when
order.
you did the Norm show, was it hard to memorize the actual script?
Almost impossible. But I would just. The other guys would memorize the shit, and I'd kind of say stuff, and they'd be real good. But so the guy gives me the script, right? And I'm trying to memorize. So my acting technique is I look in the mirror and I talk my script out, and then I emphasize one word. I don't know what I'm
randomly.
Yeah,
just one.
You're going to start a school because you have a technique.
I know, because real.
You know
actors,
what? I would do that.
Real actors are different.
Right.
Real actors are different. But then I was. So then I get there, and there's fucking all these people in the room. The producers, like 20 people, you know, and this fucking casting agent's all excited, like I'm this big find, like I'm Lana Turner or something.
Right.
So he's like, go. And so I start reading it, you know, no laughs at all, you know, I keep reading it. And the guy's like, wait, hold on. You know, and then he gets me in the hall and he's like, what are you doing? I said, I don't know, man. I'm just reading that shit from the paper, from the script. And he's like, no, from last night at the comedy club. I go, you want me to do my act? He goes, what are you, retarded?
Yeah.
I said, yeah, bro. He goes, no, do that, but funny.
Right.
And I said, I can't, you need a different guy. I don't know how the fuck to do that.
Do you feel you don't fit into show business in a sense? I mean, you are in show business. You're successful. You're stand-up. I watched you stand-up.
Why wouldn't you take an acting lesson?
I've taken the fuckers.
You have. Do you treat it seriously? Do you go home and do your homework?
I told the fucking guy one time, like I was in an acting
This is your acting
class.
teacher?
Yeah, the acting teacher goes, listen. He goes, you got to believe in what you're doing, right? You got to believe that's your wife. I go, I can't believe that's my wife. That's a fucking lady.
I don't know her.
Yeah, like I said, you mean actually fucking believe?
I mean, I remember on Saturday Night Live, you would play, let's say, Burt Reynolds or something. I remember you even playing like David Letterman. You did those kind of characters.
Yeah.
But you go, I'm pretending to be David Letterman. You don't get into your character.
No, I would never, ever.
Did you tell your acting teacher, listen, I pretended to be Burt Reynolds. What are you talking about?
Well, no, that was before. Yeah.
When
the funny thing is,
when you do a character like David Letterman, does he call you up and go?
He did call me.
He called you up because Letterman doesn't call anyone really.
No.
You mean you got an embarrassing phone call that he didn't like what you were doing?
No. What happened was like I did Letterman. I did an impression of him, and I was fucking afraid. Like I was like, I don't want to do this.
It was funny.
It was all right, but I was like, I don't want to fucking make fun of it because I love David Letterman. You know? So I'm like, I'll just try to do as exact an impression as possible, but not make a comment on it, like not say, you know, not make fun of him.
You're right.
And so anyways, then he phones me like the next day, and he's like, I'm talking to him, and he's not bringing it up. You know?
Wow.
And,
it's like the mafia.
Yeah, no, it's very awkward. You know, I'm pretty awkward with people, but he's more so.
You're awkward with people?
On the telephone, yeah.
I don't get that. Yeah, I don't get that from you. You seem very comfortable in your own skin. But
like Nixon.
Yeah. I see you walking on the beach in a suit. So wait a second. So Letterman's. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, so Letterman calls me. He's like, "Hey, how you doing?" You know. So I go, "Good." He goes, yeah. So anyways, I go, do you do the show today? He goes, yeah. He goes, these audiences are more and more stupid, you know? I go, oh, yeah. I go, the audiences are pretty stupid over here, too. He goes, no, they're not. I go, oh. Now I'm in an argument with him.
Right.
So I go, he goes, no, Lauren has people come in, they're good. I go,
well, my audience is stupider than yours.
So I go, yeah. So it goes on for about 5 minutes where we're talking about nothing. So then I just blurt out, I go, hey, I did an impression of you last night.
Oh, you're kidding.
Obviously, that's why I was phoning, you know?
Right, yeah. Aye.
So then all he said was, he goes, oh, yeah, you know, no. He goes, I don't mind it. It's all right. He goes, Joe Piscopo did an impression of me once, and I didn't care for that because that guy's not funny.
Right.
So that's all. That's the only thing he did.
So does that?
I can do Joe Piscopo doing a Letterman.
Go ahead.
You want to hear that
yes, I
impression?
would love to hear that.
Okay, here it is. See if I can still do it. Awake the neighbors. No, awake the children. Call the neighbors.
You know what I like about your impressions? I don't think on Saturday Night Live you ever tried to do an impression. When you were Burt Reynolds, you were Norm. And when you were Letterman, you were Norm, but you were in a wig or something, right?
They just put me in a wig.
And
That's
I
why
admire
sometimes
that.
when I'm doing a stand-up, they go like, do the guy. I'm like, I can't really do him. They put a fucking mask on you. On Saturday Night Live, they put a mask of the guy.
Do you feel competitive with Joe Piscopo that you both did David Letterman? Do you feel yours is better than his?
No.
When you're on there doing these impressions, do you think you're doing an impression or you know you're not doing an impression?
No, I'm not doing a fucking impression. Like, the impressionists are all different.
Did Letterman get the correct response out of you? Did you stop doing Letterman after that? I mean, did it kind of work?
I only wanted to do it once, but the thing at Saturday Night Live is they always want you to do things more than once.
If it works, and it did work.
And I hate it. I don't like doing things more than once. Like, I'm like, let's do the next thing. You know what I mean?
I know.
Why beat something into the fucking ground and have to force people to watch the same fucking thing?
But you know what's weird about Saturday Night Live? You know,
I agree with you, Norm. Whatever you say.
I've said it to you so many times, Norm.
Robin thinks I don't love her, but I do.
Yeah, I know you love her. But you know what's crazy with your career too, and I got this sense that after they fired you from Saturday Night Live for not being funny, supposedly, which I thought you were the best at reading the news. You know, that was your thing, and I thought you were great at it. I thought you could do that for as long as you wanted to. But some guy got a bug up his ass and said you're not funny. Did you think that was the end of your career? Like, did you think you were just going to disappear off the planet after that? Was that a mind-blowing experience for you?
No, I didn't care that much because, to tell you the truth, like, I'm not like I'm not a furnace of ambition.
I know. I don't even know how you make money, quite frankly.
I don't make money.
Are you broke? But I always hear you're gambling for like huge amounts of money and $100,000 swing and all this kind of stuff.
I'm not broke in the sense that I have enough money. You don't need much money.
Like, what is enough money to live?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't need anything.
No, bullshit. You got a kid. You've got...
Oh, no, I pay a lot for that.
Right. And you also have a lifestyle. I mean, you have a house.
I don't have a lifestyle.
Do you have a house?
Yeah.
You got to pay a mortgage?
Yeah.
You got a car?
No.
You don't drive?
I don't drive, but
You live in L.A.?
I'm pretty cheap. I mean, not cheap, but I'm pretty, what do you call it? I just live in my apartment.
But you go to Hawaii. I know you take vacations.
Once a week I go to Hawaii.
Once a week?
Once a 1 week a year.
I mean, do you have over $50,000 saved or what?
Oh, yeah.
You
I
do?
have
Okay.
like 118 or something.
You have that much? Oh, I didn't realize you were that wealthy.
He's got FU money.
But seriously, you're not motivated, right? I mean, when you did the Norm show, you did it. And when they canceled that, you didn't care.
My dream was because all I did was stand up. So my dream was to get on the David Letterman show.
And you did
other people's dreams were the Carson, but I never fucking understood him.
Me neither.
But,
did you like him? I didn't think he was all that.
I trust people. Like, I love Letterman so much, and he says how funny he is. So I guess I just trust that he was.
Would you go on Leno if he asked you to go on?
On the Jay Leno show?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You would go on.
Yeah, I go on.
But your hero is...
Why do you think he would have a problem with Jay?
Well, because his hero is David Letterman. I pick sides. I go with Letterman. I won't do Jay. Fuck Jay Leno. Fuck him. I'll say it right now. Go ahead, say it. It's very liberating. I say that. But of course, you listen. You have a different kind of career. You want certain outlets and want to go places. Yeah. But Letterman's your guy.
That was always my dream, just to get on Letterman. And actually, I got on Letterman. I did stand up. And honestly, I thought, oh, that's it.
It's done. My dream is over.
My dream's over, and that's cool.
But when you say you're not motivated, I mean, like, you're here today. You're starting a new television show. You'll do it. Are you motivated to go there and try to make it good, or you don't care?
No, I try to make that good.
Now, what is the show? It's
a sports show. You like sports? You don't like sports.
I hate sports. Honestly.
No, this is perfect for you.
Okay. Why is that perfect for me?
I don't know.
Somebody told you to say that.
Somebody told me to say that.
Kevin, are you involved in the sports show? Is that why you're here today?
I'm here to, well, hopefully, if Norm puts me on. I've been going out with Norm.
I've been teaching Kevin stand-up.
Is that true?
Right?
Yeah.
You want to get into stand-up?
Yeah, I just started it like a year ago, and I've been going out and warming up the audience for Norm.
Oh, okay. So how's that going?
It's going.
It's going.
I think it's going. I've been learning a lot.
Well, he's a teacher.
He's got a little. His biggest trouble is people associate him with
Compare me to Chris.
They compare you to your brother, the great Chris Farley, who was really was Chris ever a stand-up comedian?
No, he couldn't do it. He got up there a couple times and he didn't really like it. He was more like he liked to be with an ensemble of people.
Right.
And
He was more of a sketch guy.
Yeah, sketch. Yeah.
But I've seen people come up to him and go, "Hey, like." Well,
you do look like your brother.
I look like
There's
him,
an eerie resemblance.
So
right. And they go, "Hey, you're Chris Farley." And I go, "You look like Chris Farley." And I go, "No, I'm his brother." And they go, "Well, what do you do?" And I go, "Well, I'm a comedian, stand-up." And they go, "Oh."
Why do they look down on you for that? Because you shouldn't go into your brother's field? You should be a doctor?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just tough, to follow that lead. I try to make my own thing.
I wrote a thing for him for his stand-up, like a song.
Yeah.
Remember that song? I'm not Lisa. My name is Julie. Remember that song?
Yes.
Lisa left you years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I wrote a thing for him to say.
Yeah,
Do you remember that?
I'm not Chris. My name is Kevin. Chris was funny. I am not.
Now that's good. Do you do that in your acting?
It didn't work. It did not
people
work.
don't like it.
It didn't go over.
It didn't go over.
Maybe they didn't know the original song. Maybe you should do it to a different song.
It's an old song.
Yeah. So Norm, you are teaching Kevin how to become this great stand-up
Yes,
comic.
I'm teaching him how to be one of the best stand-ups.
But can you teach somebody that either they have it or they don't? I always thought.
Well, no, but he's funny. You know what I mean?
He's got the funny bone in
He's
him.
incredibly funny guy.
I do good out there. Yeah.
So he just has to learn to, because he does all this fucking fag improv shit. So I have to get that out of his system,
We're going to get him out of improv.
Yeah.
Well, why is improv so effeminate, as you say?
Because this is the improv. Like the audience, they go, I don't know. But one time I did it.
You did.
One time in my life.
Is this where the audience yells out, "Be a plant that
shit.
suddenly gets consciousness"?
So one time I was at this club, and Drew Carey was there, and with Ryan Stiles, those guys from Whose Line Is It Going to Be Next?
Yeah, right.
So they're on stage. They've done it for 20 years. They go, Norm, come on up, So I go, oh, what? So I go up there, and then I'm fucking standing there. So they have this game. It's called the freeze game, right?
Right.
So let's say you probably know what it is.
Yeah,
so
it's
let's
freeze
say
tag.
A guy's eating a fucking watermelon, right? And I see that, I go freeze, and then I'm the guy, and then I go up there, and instead of a watermelon, I go, hey, I can't think of anything.
Whatever that watermelon shape is, you
go like,
let's pass a football.
Let's pass a football, right? Or something like that. So like I watch, and then I'd think of something. And then I go, oh, okay, and then another guy would say freeze. So anyway, it turned out I had been standing up there just on the side for about 15 minutes.
Doing nothing.
Never doing anything.
So I go, I got to do something. So then it occurred to me, I go, I'll wait till somebody bends down and then freeze. And so sure enough, a guy was a tailor. He goes, let me check. I'm like, freeze. So then I go up, I start fucking his ass, right? But I'm so excited. It was Ryan Stiles. I'm fucking his ass way too hard. He's like, whoa.
Your
killed. I fucking killed.
Is the great thing about stand-up that you could sit at home and write an act, and then you go up and you're responsible for it, and it's either do or die. It's the kind of thing that you control.
It's what you do, yeah.
Do you really like doing stand-up?
Well, I don't like it. I get very, very nervous and stuff like that. I get really, really nervous.
Do you get hecklers ever?
I don't give a fuck about them. No, I can't hear them.
Someone told me you once got heckled so bad. A guy threw firecrackers at you on stage, and they didn't even throw the guy out. Is that true?
Yeah, I did. A guy fucking. Because they used to stand up everywhere. So I was in a bar, and I don't kick anybody out. I don't give
You're
a fuck.
a good man, yeah.
And so this guy, all of a sudden, I heard like what sounded like gunshots.
Boom.
And then I looked down, and the guy right in front was throwing the firecrackers. Yeah. So then the fucking bartender, who was also the owner, he was sitting over there. So I go, this is it. I go, this is where I draw the line, I go, kick this guy out. So the guy goes, He's a regular.
Yeah, you're going to leave. Fuck him. If we're kicking anyone out, it's you. What do you get nervous about with stand-up? That you're not going to be funny? Because you say you're the guy who doesn't care, but you do care. You do care about being funny.
No, I get nervous. I don't care about being funny, no. But I only get nervous about going through crowds. Like, I really don't like crowds of people.
What do you imagine could happen to you?
I think...
They'll hurt
honestly?
you? Yeah, honestly.
No, just that I'll have a heart attack and die.
Because there's so many people around you.
I guess it's like some fucking mental thing. You know how your mind. You go to psychiatrist.
Yeah. Do you go to psychiatrist?
I went for 4 times.
I could see you'd be difficult.
I started making up shit.
Right.
And it was like
routines. Did you feel you had to be
routines, but I'd exaggerate things, and then I go, well, no, it wasn't that bad. Like, you know.
So it was hard for you to take yourself seriously in therapy.
The first time I went was here in New York, man. I went to a fucking apartment. It was in an apartment.
Is this during Saturday Night Live years?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I was fucking addicted to gambling and shit, so that's why I went. But anyways, I go to this.
You're not addicted anymore to that?
You went and got cured?
I got cured.
Yeah, look at him. He's cured. He's only gambling $100,000 a hand now.
So the lady. So it's a lady. It was a lady.
Yeah.
A lady psychiatrist.
Yes. Attractive?
No.
Thank God.
Man. It was
You're
like
such a seductress. I could see
you know,
you.
like the things at the bottom of the fish tank?
Yeah.
Like
the
that.
sucking fish?
Yeah, she looked like that. But she was a nice lady.
Like a flounder.
And smart from the universities and shit, right?
Right. Did someone recommend you? Someone from Lorne Michaels say this
Somebody
is...
said go to this lady. So I go in, right? And I never been to no psychiatrist. So she starts asking me questions. And I'm making little jokes and shit, right? Everything she's asking. So she says, enough with the fucking jokes. What's that shit, right? Don't do jokes.
Right, take it seriously.
You're talking about your father and stuff, and you're making jokes.
Right.
Like, say really what it is. So I go, I never did that in my life, right? So I'm like, all right. So fucking then I'm talking. So then cut to fucking 25 minutes later, tears streaming down my eyes. I'm fucking like a fucking little fag baby, right? I don't know if babies are fags. I don't know. But I'm crying and shit, right? And then she's like, okay, time's up. Beat it. Yeah. So I'm like, whoa. I go, no, please. I go, I'll pay you more. Just I have to stay here, right? And she's like, there's another lady. Get out, you know. So I'm like, ah. So then I walk out in the cold New York, you know, with the hot dog vendors. They don't give a fuck about you. Yeah. Tears. And I go through Central Park shaking. And
you do feel abandoned, don't you?
Yeah, I never went back. But unless you go, I think, all the fucking time. Because, like, the way I figure it is this, right? Like, let's say I'm your psychiatrist now.
Right.
And you're not famous, right?
Right.
I don't know who you are. I don't listen to your show.
Right.
So in an hour, I go, tell me about your life. What the fuck can you tell me?
Well, maybe you tell what really matters to you. Seriously.
In an hour?
No, you start the process.
You start the process. You're going to come back again.
Right.
It's because it would
He wants to get it over in one session.
No, but that's what I'm saying. How long would it take a person to understand your whole fucking life?
It would take a long time if it really meant something to you and you began to dissect it and really treat it in a serious way. I mean, but you're looking to do, you know, you're worried that you're not going to be entertaining enough in therapy, I think.
No,
I have that issue
true.
as well.
No,
yeah.
it's true.
It's very difficult.
It's true.
Or
provocative or, you know, I don't know. You tend to exaggerate shit.
Are you uncomfortable with any kind of success? Someone told me you were named to a list, like the top 100 comedians of all time.
I hate that
What
shit.
were you, like, I don't know what number. It was Comedy Central.
I told them not to do it. I pleaded with them not to do it.
Why? They felt that you were one of the best.
I don't like lists.
Why don't you like a list? If you're on it and they want to compliment you.
I don't like, you know, then fuck it. A guy telling you what number you are, fuck that shit.
You don't want to be evaluated.
Yeah.
But yet you're in a business where you're evaluated.
Even in fucking school, man. I hated that shit.
You're not flattered at all that Comedy Central?
You'd fucking write something. And then the guy go, you got a B. I go, what the fuck does that mean? You're fucking 8 years old.
Right.
Go, well, that means you're not as good as Billy.
That's right.
But you're better than Fred, and then you got to be their friend.
They ignored you, though, and rated you anyway, didn't they, at Comedy
Yeah,
Central?
they did. Yeah,
and what were you
yeah,
rated on the scale of 1 to 100?
I do not know.
You really don't know?
I really do not know.
I find that hard to believe.
I've been told it. I've been told
What was the number?
Like 70, 80, 90.
Does that make you feel good or bad?
Well, like I said, fuck.
By the way, the number is 83.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
I said, I read the fucking top 20, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, where the fuck is, Red Fox and
one of the best.
Shecky Green and these motherfuckers that they said were the best in the world? It's
Who was the comedian that inspired you to go into comedy? Was there one?
Sam Kinison, when I started comedy my first year, Sam Kinison came to where I lived in Ottawa, Canada.
He was the best.
He was the fucking greatest.
He really was.
And he couldn't get work in the States, you know, because he'd walk rooms. And I fucking saw him. That's the amazing thing. Just every night walk
Why couldn't
rooms.
he get work in the States?
Because he'd walk every room, you know.
What does that mean, walk every room?
Like everybody would walk out.
Oh, I see.
And when I thought about it later, man, like, you know, these guys think they're all fucking, whatever you call it. What do you call
Edgy.
it? Edgy and
Yeah.
all this shit. All they're doing is swearing and doing this. But fucking Kinison, man, in a room full of, and he was an unknown, in a room full of everybody's on a date, he would fucking go up to them and go, "Don't fucking get married. Fuck, it's the worst fucking thing."
Yeah, right.
And people would fucking go, "Holy shit, I'm with this woman," you know?
Don't tell me your problems.
Yeah, and
Right.
he'd challenge him so much.
But he wasn't a jokey kind of guy, right? He was a guy like you. I see you on stage. You'll develop a story. You don't rush to get to a punchline. It's sort of like the clip I played when you were walking in. It's
You ever
like,
played a clip of it?
Oh, yeah, and it was
That's
funny.
nice. That's
because you take your time with something, you try to develop it. You don't like a guy who does shticky joke after joke after joke.
There's very few that I like, but I love Rodney Dangerfield as my favorite.
And then he was a guy who would fire off jokes,
Yeah,
but he was
the
great.
jokes have to be so fucking good.
Did he write his own jokes?
Yeah, he wrote them all.
Amazing.
But very few people
Wait a
can.
minute. Jackie Martling told us he wrote.
Yeah, Jackie was the brains behind it. It's only an inside joke.
I remember Jackie and I remember them having an argument.
But Kinison
Did
too.
he owe him money?
Yeah, but Rodney never paid. Somehow he didn't remember that.
Here's a story about Rodney, man. He was fucking guy. Kept doing coke and shit, even when, you know, you get scared at some point. You stop doing drugs.
Yeah.
Right.
Most humans.
Not him.
This fucker, 80, whatever he was, doing all kinds of shit. Saga told me the story, right? So he's in the hospital, and he's got a fucking brain tumor that's going to cause a heart attack, all this crazy shit, right?
Right.
So everybody's worried about him. Just leaves the hospital 2 days later, right?
Walks out on his own.
Yeah, so he's in the comedy store with two hookers, and he's waiting for Ron Jeremy to show up.
Oh my goodness.
So this is 2 days later.
Yeah.
So Saget told me he walked in, he was like completely shocked. He said, "Rodney, how you doing, man? Well, what's going on?" He goes, how are you doing? And Rodney goes, "How am I doing?" He goes, "I'm sitting here with two whores waiting for a guy who can suck his own dick. How you doing?"
Still very quick.
Yeah.
He was a genuine character. I know guys who went into meetings with him about a movie.
Yeah.
He'd show up late in a bathrobe with his balls hanging out.
Yeah.
And like legendary stories of it.
yeah,
You
yeah.
talk about not giving a fuck.
it's his
You
balls.
worship that. You want to be that guy
It
who
was the
doesn't give a
greatest.
fuck, right?
I met Rodney, man, when I was fucking. I made the worst mistake ever, which I was in the fucking hotel, and I loved Rodney and shit. I didn't know him, and I was coming down in the casino. I was coming down the fucking elevator, and Rodney was in the elevator. I'm like, oh my god, it's Rodney. I gotta say something to him. So, anyways, I'd worked on some stupid fucking thing with this director,
Yeah.
who said he worked with Rodney.
Yeah.
So I used that as a thing, right? So I go, "Hey, Rodney," I go, "we have a common friend." He goes, "Who's that?" I go, "Paul Johnson." He goes, "That cocksucker." He goes, "That fucker's no friend." And there's a full elevator. "That fucker's no friend of mine. You tell him he can suck my dick." I'm like, "Oh, I'm not his friend. I'm not his friend."
And you hear these stories that Rodney was sort of a bitter guy because he made it late in life and
did,
all that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yet he was a sweet guy because
He helped
I mean,
everybody.
he did something for me that I'll never forget. Like I appeared on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno back when I would work with that scumbag.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking. He's a great guy. Anyway, I went on the Tonight Show and Rodney called me at my house. Now I didn't know Rodney. And he just says, "Hey, Howard, I just want to tell you, when I used to do shows, no one ever called me. No one ever said I did good. I knew what you were doing up there. You were great. You were doing a great
that's
job."
cool.
And I was like, wow, Rodney Dangerfield. I mean, because he's the guy. If he thinks you did okay, I must have done okay.
Yeah.
So what a tremendous, nice thing to do for somebody.
Unbelievable. Well, I met him on Saturday Night Live because he came and did, when I did Update, he came and did some jokes on his 75th birthday. So we have to do dress first at 8:30 and then at 11:30 the show,
Right.
So he comes and he's like, "Hey, Norm, I got to fucking talk to you, So I go in and I'm like, "Mr. Dangerfield, it's great to meet you." The first time I ever met him. He goes, "Listen, man." He goes, "What the fuck, man? Why am I doing it at 8:30? I know my fucking jokes. I'll just come back at 11:30. I go, "I don't know how it works, Rodney. You got to do it." He goes, "God damn." He goes, "Let me tell you something, kid." This was his advice to me.
Kid.
He goes, "Let me tell you something, kid." He goes, "This fucking TV shit, He goes, "This waiting around all the fucking time. It's a bunch of it's all shit, you know? It's shit. He goes, it's the same with fucking movies, you know? You're in the movie, and then you're in the fucking trailer all the time. That's all you're doing is fucking jerking off in the trailer, you know? He goes, it's all shit, kid. He goes, remember this and remember it forever. Stand up, man. That's all there is. Stand up.
And he meant it.
Then there's a fucking like 5-minute pause. He's looking me right in the eyes. He goes, stand up, shit.
He forgot. It's all shit.
Okay, well.
A negative guy. Yeah, it's just great, though. What a funny man. Just naturally funny man. Is it true that, was Richard Pryor a huge hero of yours?
Oh, yeah.
Was his last television appearance on The Norm Show?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
Wow.
It was like this show I had with Artie, you know?
Yeah, sure.
And so we get fucking Richard Pryor, and I'm like, God damn, this will be cool. Because I had seen him like at the Comedy Store, and he was still funny, even though he had the MS or whatever it was.
Sure, yeah.
And I remember watching him, and he was fucking funny. He was like, people say, Richie got the AIDS. Anyways, he said he was watching TV one time, right? Because he had MS, and he was lying in the thing. He said, and I looked up on the TV, and the man said, Richie got the AIDS. And then I said, maybe I do got the AIDS. So I got the doctor, and I said, Doc, sure I got the AIDS. But it was all funny and shit. So that's how I remembered it. But then when I did the show and I had him, now he was in late stages.
Right.
He's in a fucking wheelchair and there's fucking spit shit coming out of his mouth and he can't talk and shit like that.
Sad, right?
So then I'm like, fuck, this was a big mistake, you know?
Right.
And so he can't get his words out and shit. And I'm like, let's just abandon this. They go, no, Richie wants to do it, you know? And like they could tell, he's like,
he's emulsified.
yeah. So then his wife fucking comes up to me and goes, listen, man, Richie's real nervous, you know? Goes, could you go up and like tell him you love him, like kiss him, you know, like he likes physical affection, you know?
He went to the right guy.
Man,
so I said, no, I'll do it. Like it was so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because you know, I grew up. He was like the greatest ever. So I go up to him and I hug him. I go, Richie, man, you're the greatest guy ever. You know, it'll be hilarious. And I like kiss him on the cheek. I go, I love you. You know. Then fucking like a half hour later, his buddy comes over and goes, hey, Richie thinks you're a fag.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
So here's my comedy hero thinks I'm a fag now.
What are you coming on to him? Oh, my God, it's so great.
Stupid fucking wife.
Oh, man. I love
Who
it.
do you grow up liking?
Well, geez, you know, Soupy Sales was when I was a real little kid. I thought Soupy Sales was the greatest thing ever, and I loved the Three Stooges. That was like I loved all of that. You know,
Johnny Knoxville's doing that.
Don Rickles was God to me, and when
you had him in here, right?
I had him in here, I was so thrilled, and that. You know, he also said when I did Letterman the last time, I did a good job, and I was just like, oh, you know,
He
Don
phoned
Rickles.
you?
Yeah, no, he didn't. He wrote me a note. It was very, very nice.
Did you get a note? Because
Yeah.
Stamos was kind of blocking you for a while there.
I think Stamos was forcing him to write the note, quite frankly. He knew how important it was to me. But yeah, I mean, you know.
Stamos gets to be his buddy. Fucking shit.
Yeah, huh?
Like
How
I always.
did he work that?
Yeah, you know, shouldn't we be Don Rickles' buddy?
Yes. How do I work that? God damn, I hang out with Kevin.
Why, now, how do you hang out with Kevin Farley? How do you guys even how did you guys
Well,
become?
me and Chris were big buddies, you know. And then when I did Dirty Work, I put Kevin and.
I have a Don Rickles Dirty Works.
Oh yeah.
You have the Don
That
Rickles.
was funny.
Yeah.
The first time I met Don Rickles, I was in awe, and I was working on Dirty Work.
Right, that's one of the greatest.
And I said I worked hanging out with him all day, and he was telling Sinatra stories and all that stuff.
Oh, let me tell the
that was
Sinatra
great.
story first.
Okay, go ahead.
So fucking Sinatra was dying, right?
Yeah.
So everybody's like, "Fuck, we can't bring up Sinatra," you know, because you know Rickles and Sinatra are pretty close.
Yeah.
Right? So, but finally I said, "I'm gonna fucking ask him like at lunch, you know, how Frank's doing." You know?
Yeah.
So I go, listen, Don, man, I don't want to bum you out or anything, but you know, because he was on his deathbed and everything. I go, have you seen Frank? He goes, yeah, I saw him last week. It was a lot of this.
Spit coming out of his mouth.
And then he goes, no, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of me 2 inches from his face going, I'm not Barbara. So I'm like, this guy's
So he wasn't that emotional about
Yeah,
it.
this guy is fucking real. He's
Right. So you,
Well, so then
I was in awe of Don Rickles, and at the end of the day, I got wrapped, and I'm leaving the show. And I went up to him and I go, Mr. Rickles, it's an honor to meet you. I'm Kevin Farley, and boy, I tell you, I'm just, you know, kind of new to show business, and just being around you, and you know, it was just an honor of my life. And he goes, get out of here, you fag.
Yeah, you big crybaby. What's the matter with you? Were you and Chris on the same Saturday Night Live years? I don't remember who was on. You were.
Yeah. Me, Chris, and Sandler.
And that's how you got to know Kevin? You would hang out with all the guys?
I was always hanging around.
Yeah. I was good friends with the three funny brothers, and one other guy.
I still have a hard time watching these Saturday Night Live retrospectives and when they get up to Chris, because Chris was so funny. I see it. I get really sad.
Chris always wanted to be on this show. He was scared.
He was?
We'd always talk, because I'd come on the show. I'd go, Chris, you got to go on the show, man.
Would have been great.
It would have been. It would have been. I wish he would have. I don't know. He was scared. He was nervous. He was a shy, really guy. I mean, a lot of people don't know that. He was pretty shy.
I know. I can't believe, I guess I could believe this, but that he didn't find himself funny. Like, that was his major problem.
He would say to me, he'd go, Belushi. I go, listen, man, I don't know Belushi, but I think you're way the fuck funnier than Belushi. And especially in real life, Belushi seemed like a grim, fucking angry guy. You know what I mean?
And Chris wasn't like that.
He was,
Chris,
shy,
seriously, I swear to God, he could make smart guys laugh, dumb guys laugh, people that didn't like him laugh.
But he never felt funny.
No.
Yeah,
and yet he went into comedy.
And he would make everyone, everywhere he went, he would just, if you heard laughter, it was fucking Chris.
But that must have been some pressure on him. Everywhere he went, he had to make everyone laugh.
Yeah, he had a lot of these guys coming up to him and backslapping him and offering him all kinds of drinks and stuff. And because he couldn't say no to anybody. He was always just.
Kevin doesn't have that curse.
You're lucky.
Thank God. I'm not a good guy.
Oh, man. Well, listen.
I don't have that curse of being. You're lucky you're not funny.
You're lucky nobody sits in there and laughs at you and all that shit.
Nobody slaps you on the back and wants to give you things.
You don't want stardom.
So is Norm help? Has his lessons helped you, or do you think is it getting? Are you getting nowhere
with it? I look at his style, and because he goes on, and I watch.
He's very relaxed.
Very relaxed, right? And I watch him, and it's like watching a pro. You know, you've been around doing it for a long time, and I got to go to. We went through Canada together. And we went through all these places. God, it was
because he's teaching. Do you ever find yourself doing an impression of Norm?
I haven't taught him how to do anecdotes yet.
Oh, he's almost up to that.
What is he up to?
But do you ever get all of a sudden you get into that?
I start going, "Hi, how are you, everybody? I'm Norm MacDonald." No.
So it's fun. At least you guys get to travel around together and you get to buddy up. And do you share a hotel room? Do you ever see each other naked or anything weird like that?
No, you know what I do? Because people are so fucking okay with gay people.
Right.
You know?
You're not okay. Are you uncomfortable around gay people?
No, I'm not. I swear to God, I'm the fucking least. I'm fascinated with fucking gay people. Whenever I get a haircut guy, I had a haircut guy on this last thing that was a gay guy. I go, how the fuck? Who decides who gets fucked in the ass and who doesn't?
What is that
to me? If I want to be the guy fucking.
Yes.
Sure, you want to be the man.
It's like a sadomasochistic relationship. I would pick the sado part.
Yeah, right. Always go with the sado.
But so I asked this guy. I said, fuck. How the fuck do you decide who fucks who in the ass? And he said it's like a fucking. He said it's like two elks. Because he said he had this relationship with this guy and they were fighting, and then they got in a big fight and everything, and then he had the upper control, so he got to fuck the guy in the ass. And then so he said the relationship would constantly change depending on who had the upper hand, kind of.
Right.
But anyways, I'm fascinated by it.
You work out for a year, then you get to fuck the guy in the ass.
Yeah. And they're hilarious.
And you like the whole gay scene. And you're for gay marriage? Of course.
When I was a kid, I said it. I fucking couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck?
Live and let live.
Your time.
But people do think like...
You were always a progressive thinker.
But what I do is...
Are you friends with any gay people?
What I'm saying is, a lot of them.
If Kevin was gay, could you travel with him and be in the same room with him? You could. Okay, right. No problem.
But I'm not.
But people pretend to be fucking cool with it, you know? Like, I was at this thing, it was all these fucking guys, I don't know what the fuck it was.
You were gambling, go ahead. You were at a poker game.
Alan Brady, who's that guy? Fucking Rob Reiner's and all these fucking guys. So they're all around, you know?
Yeah.
Rob Reiner's around.
Yeah, just a bunch of celebrities, you know what I mean?
Liberal types.
Oh, they're all fucking, but
they're
listen,
okay with everything.
when I have my buddy with me and I go, this is my lover and best friend. There's a little edginess.
Everyone gets a little weirded out.
Yeah, everybody gets weirded out. I'm like, what?
Norm, I'm excited that you're coming back to television. Now,
You are?
maybe you're not, but I'm
excited to be here, man.
I'm excited
Wait
to
a
have
minute,
you.
this isn't really a sports show. What are we talking about?
All right, here's the deal.
This is what it is. It's like, remember Weekend Update?
Yes.
So that's what it is, except we're doing sports.
Okay.
Now, I'm a guy who doesn't know a lot about sports. Can I watch the show?
Fucking absolutely, man. When they test it, they test it.
Yeah.
Fucking broads, fags, everybody likes this shit.
You're very comfortable. Now, how long is the show? A half hour or an hour?
Half hour every week, man.
Jam-packed with funny.
It's gonna be.
You got video.
You got writers too, or do you write most of the material yourself?
No,
You got to have some writers.
Me and the guys I wrote Weekend Update with are the big writers on the show. But we got other guys too.
I don't want to jinx this. I want this to go on for years, but you normally get canned. What's your prediction on this? Are you gonna last?
This is why I get canned. I mean, because I everything I've done other than Weekend Update, it was fucking right that they canned me because I can't fucking act.
But this is your thing now. Right. This is your thing.
Did I ever tell you the time I went to fucking, this guy Milos Forman?
Yeah, he's a big director.
So he saw me on Saturday Night Live, so he got the idea I was smart.
I always thought that.
Everybody always thought that.
Because I'm reading the news and shit like that. So he's come to we go out to eat at Nobu and shit, right? And so I go with him. So it's me, him, and two guys from two foreigners.
Right.
And so these guys know everything, And so they're like, what about the situation in the Balkans or something like that?
Yeah, you're the newsman.
Yeah, so I'm just sitting there like a retard. They know everything, right?
Right. They're concerned.
Yeah.
Right.
So he thought, and I just kind of play along like by repeating what they'd said 3 sentences ago.
Right, yeah.
And so anyways, he goes, I put you in the movie, man. I need a guy to... And he was going to give me a big part.
Right.
So I was like, no, don't do that. Like, I can't act. And he's like, don't worry about it. I go, seriously, Milos, I don't want you to give me a big part. So he's like, what do you want? I go, just give me a small part. That'd be cool. So he made me a reporter, right, in this People versus Larry Flint.
Right,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. I played one of the people.
Right.
So
Originally, I think it sounds like you were about to be Larry Flint. Right.
Oh my God.
Hey, I'm Larry Flint.
I have stories about that fucker
Right.
too.
Yeah.
But we go to we do the movie, right? And I'm a reporter, So he goes, you drive up and get out of the car and run in. I go, well, I can't drive. He goes, oh. So he goes, okay, a cab will drive you. So it doesn't make sense, like a reporter's in a cab. So I get so we do the scene. It's me and Larry Flint, and me and Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
So. He has all these cameras. He goes, okay, he goes, you don't have to worry too much about the script. Just, he's a really cool guy. And he goes, just whenever you're ready, do it, So then, anyways, Woody Harrelson's really cool. And fucking actors, man, when they're really good, it's like something different.
Right.
And because I'm just waiting for the other fucker to stop talking and hope to God I remember
You're
my
not even
line.
paying attention.
No, I'm just hoping to remember my words. So anyways, fucking what's his name? Woody Harrelson asked me if I want a beer,
Mm-hmm.
He goes, you want a beer? I go, no, it's cool. I don't drink, He goes, you don't want a beer? I go, no, I don't drink, but thanks, man. And then I go, you drink? Like, I thought you just smoke weed and all that shit. And then all of a sudden, Milos Forman goes, "Cut! What the fuck is going on?" Like we were in the movie.
You didn't know.
No.
You thought he was talking to you.
Because he was looking at me and talking like a regular person.
Oy vey.
There was nothing fake about it.
You got caught up in the movie.
He was such a good actor.
Right.
You didn't they yell action? There was nothing.
No, he doesn't say that.
He doesn't do that.
And then later.
Did you ever meet the real Larry
then
Flint?
later,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I met the real Larry Flint.
What was that like?
Oh my God! He was at the fucking. It was this dinner where you talk in front of the president or some fucking thing where you're a comedian and the president's standing beside you.
Yeah.
So I was the president. I was the comedian.
Yeah.
And the president was president. Anyway, so whatever. Larry Flint is there, right? So he fucking meets me afterwards in the hallway, and he goes, what the fuck? And I'm uncomfortable with anybody. Yeah, I get uncomfortable with people that have afflictions.
That's the one problem you have. You can't deal with afflictions.
I get nervous, and I look close to them, and then I hope they can't see the horror in my eyes.
I want to know how Larry Flint got that close to the president. Yeah, but go ahead.
He was like, because every year they have a kind of a joke guy, I guess. Or something. Right. So he's like, so I have to get close to him. What? And he goes, when you're in L.A., you ever get to L.A.? So I go, yeah, I get to L.A. He goes, I'll take care of you.
Wow. Thank you.
So then I was thinking in my head, like normally if a guy says, like, for instance, if my Uncle Basil said, hey, come to the Ottawa Valley, I'll take care of you, that'd mean he'd make you a nice mincemeat pie or something like that.
Right.
This, I had a feeling was...
He's going to fuck you.
I think maybe he would have fucked me.
I'm going to put it in your ass there, Norm.
No, he's
not. I'm going to wrestle you and get on top.
He's the straightest guy in the world.
No, get in my lap. I'm going to have you ride around in my chair with me.
No, he's the straightest guy in the world. What I think it would mean is I'd be with some hot lady, and then all of a sudden he'd come in his wheelchair whacking off.
Listen to me. Norm, you're the best. Kevin, I'm glad you came in today. It was great to see you. I wish you luck, first of all, with your stand-up career.
Yeah.
I hope Norm puts you in his new TV
I hope he's
show.
a good teacher.
Well, let's hope Norm knows what he's doing when he's teaching. You know, he's known to just fuck you up.
He could be just pranking you.
He'd be goofing on it. You don't know with him.
I'm well aware of that.
You still gambling a lot? You host a show. You have a show that's successful. It's that gambling show, right?
Yeah, I do a poker show.
Yeah, that's going into its, what, 7th season?
Fuck, I don't know.
Who knows? You don't care.
Hey,
Watch sports show.
I'm fucking tweeting, baby.
Go ahead. What are you going to write?
What are you
writing?
Tweeting.
What are you writing? You're always so witty on that Twitter. What do you got?
No, I'm just tweeting real things.
What do you say?
This is what I tweeted moments ago. Hey, I'm about to do Stern. This is right before.
Perfect.
Always good to see the king, plus the founder of Twitter, Biz Stone. And then right before I came in, just met Biz, the king of Twitter, and now the king of all media. Let's do it!
Listen to that. Man, you know just what to say. You were born for Twitter. Watch sports show with Norm MacDonald. Everybody. You love Norm. You know it's going to be good. He's doing what he does best. He's doing his weekend update thing, except with sports on Comedy Central.
All right.
And go see Norm and Kevin when they were around Kevin Farley. He's now opening for Norm and is his student. If you can imagine. And look at his teacher. It's fantastic. I love you guys, and I'm glad you came by, Norm.
I miss you so much,
miss you too, man.
Yeah.
I feel I have a connection with you now on Twitter. I follow you, and at least I get to hear from you now.
Yeah, how do we, can we talk to, I don't know how to do it. But
we can direct message
you
each
mean
other.
on Twitter?
What?
We can direct message each other.
Yeah?
Yes.
I'm going to find out how to do that.
Learn
shit.
that shit.
It's about time you learned another function.
The great
This is what
Norm
a guy
MacDonald.
told me, by the way.
Right.
What?
The guy that was an expert, he said, make your Twitters 70 characters so they can be double retweeted and commented on.
That's the secret I've been waiting for.
And have you done that?
There's a
No.
little tip.
He's not doing that.
I was trying to make him exactly 140, as close
It's
to
like haiku. All right, listen.
I'm gonna direct message you, man.
Please
now, what
do.
do I do? Can I say to all my followers, follow Howard Stern?
Yes, you can.
And can
Sure.
you say
that?
to
I will say it to yours as well.
When are you gonna do that?
I'm going to do that as soon as I get home today. I am. I really am.
If you don't, I'll fucking direct message you.
I have nothing to say on there, so I will have something to say now. I'm looking forward to tweeting. What do you have, an
Awesome.
iPhone there? Over there? What is that, an iPhone?
No, but you
No,
know
that's
what?
a
I'll be
BlackBerry,
honest
right?
with you. I'll be honest with you. I'm getting a fucking iPhone
I got
because
it.
I don't
Yeah,
want to.
yeah.
I don't want to slam anything, but these fuckers are complicated. These Blackberries.
Yeah.
You're going to have a fun time with your iPhone when you try to type on that. All right, listen. Norm, Kevin.
It's hard to type on because of the touchscreen.
That's
Yeah,
right. But I'm
yeah.
doing it. I'm doing it. Do you
You
know how to
figured
type?
it
Did you ever
out?
take typing lessons?
Yeah.
When you were in high
Typing
school?
easy.
When I was, I'm an old fella.
I type.
And when I was a typer, that was
They
for
had real-
secretaries.
Right.
They had
My
real
dad said to me.
machines,
My
yeah.
dad said to me,
Yeah.
"You learn how to type."
Yeah.
He
He
says, he
thought-
goes, if even you're a big dummy, you
Yeah.
could always get a job typing.
I
He
did
thought
not.
Howard
man.
was going to be a secretary.
He thought
Typing
he was
on.
preparing me to be a secretary.
Yeah.
That
What
was
about my dad when I watched The Twilight Zone?
What?
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 All right,
No,
next
you
time.
ever see The Twilight Zone?
Yes. Of
course.
Honest to God, man. Like, I loved that show.
Me
when
too.
I was a kid. But my dad, he hated anything fantastical.
Right.
Like, he'd only watch the news.
He wanted reality.
Yeah, anything weird, right? And plus, he always wanted us to be doing the chores and work, and he didn't want us watching.
He must have been thrilled when you said you're going to be.
live on a farm?
He must have been thrilled when you said
did.
you were going to be a comedian. You lived on a farm?
Yeah, I did. But anyways, we're watching The Twilight Zone when I was a kid, me and my brother, and he hated that show more than anything. And we're both watching it, and my father walks by, ruined The Twilight Zone for life for me by saying this.
Right.
There was characters in The Twilight Zone, and he just pointed to one of the guys, and he said, I suppose this one's a goddamn ghost.
Listen, watch that. Wait. I'm going to see about it. Hold it. Watch Sports Show with Norm MacDonald on Comedy Central, and go see Kevin Farley when he appears with Norm all over the country as they do their stand-up. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Norm.
Thank you.
And we'll be back right after these words. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck with the show. Great seeing you. Glad you came in today.
Thank you.
You're a pleasant surprise.
Thank you.
You're lighting it up now, man. It's
Look at
awesome.
me, man. I'm on fire.
Yeah, you got the 5 years. You're happy.
5
Where
years.
you are
I'm
and
here. I'm
everything?
standing around.
I read Rolling Stone how tortured you are.
I'm so tortured.
Kevin, pleasure to meet you. Thank you for
It's good
coming.
to meet you, definitely.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me. Thank you,
Yeah.
Gary.
Yeah.
Thank
Like,
you.
this is not enough. I either have to quit or
Jason,
do whatever.
Jason,
I like to think of
Could he picture you for hours or nothing?
There's nothing. The guy, and then the guy was forgetting shit.
Yeah, right.
That I told him last
Remind
week.
me who you are again and what
There's a
you
lot of
what your
that.
problem was?
Hi, Robin. How are you, sweetie?
Good to see you.
I know,
You were
that's
so
good.
funny today. Great.
Thanks,
Thanks a lot.
Hey,
man.
Robin.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Just by my-
Kevin, good time in there today,
Yeah,
man.
that was great. Oh, yeah. Can't not have a good time.
Now, I know you were on during Playboy Mansion
That's
broadcast.
right.
but
A
this
long
was
time
like-
ago, that was at the Playboy Mansion. And then this is my second appearance.
So this was more conversational.
Yeah,
You had
this
a little
is-
more time to
Yeah, definitely.
get to know the show and everything.
Good
or
to
get to
hang
know
out.
Howard.
Good to hang out with Norm and Howard. It was awesome. Can't beat it.
That was
It was
fun, right?
fun. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck, I couldn't shut you up.
What? I didn't say anything.
I know.
wasn't interrupted. Well,
It was you were supposed to be talking.
it's your time to shine. I'm just the Ed McMahon.
Not even as talented as Ed.
Norm, no matter how much time passes between appearances, you always seem to like sort of pick up where you left off with Howard.
Well, I just love Howard so much, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What gets you going?
In
What
my whole life, there's been 4 original things I've ever seen. Sam Kinison, David Letterman, when I was a little kid, Saturday Night Live, and Howard Stern.
Yeah.
4 original things in all of comedy that I've ever witnessed.
That's true.
So it's very, very special when I get to see Howard.
It's interesting hearing that from you because one of Howard's callers the other day said that the show has sort of come to a halt and he doesn't feel the show is the same or as good as it's been.
Oh no, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Well,
Because-
how do you think the show has evolved? I mean,
I think it's evolved in the same way that Howard evolves, you know, as a person and as an entertainer, and oh hi. So he's just evolving as a human being, as a comedian. That's the fucking greatest, you know, because I come from a place where stand-ups just do the same fucking act, you know, forever, and I always try to change my act all the time. You know, but I'm not even close to Howard, man. You know, and also when a guy fucking does comedy fucking 4 hours a day, I don't know why the fuck he's not getting a comedy award. I tell you that.
because he's in a sense just improvising for 4 or 5 hours every single day.
Yeah.
4 days a week.
Yeah. Compared to a guy that fucking reads a script and pretends, what the fuck is that? That guy could not even be funny in the least. All he could do is know how to read well. You know what I mean?
So what Howard does is completely original and completely.
Yes, it's completely original. You know, a guy told me once he didn't like Howard, you know, but he said, you gotta admit, he said, I do have to admit he's original. And I said, nothing's greater than that. How fucking impossible is it to be original? You know, I wish I could be fucking original. It's like the greatest thing in the world, you know?
Well, Howard seems to share that respect. There seems to be a very much a mutual respect between the two of you. I mean, I haven't heard him laugh that loud in quite a while.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Howard's great. You know, when Howard laughs, it's like when I first got on Letterman and Letterman laughs. There's very few people like when they laugh at you, you're fucking happy, you know? And he always makes me happy when he laughs.
Cool, man. It's good to see you again, Norm.
You too, man.
All right, man.
Respect.